Hey everybody, AlphaRookie is back, but it's not. It's sort of kind of back. Don't get too excited. Don't get too used to this. AlphaRookie returns for a special little podcast. AlphaRookie returns and Leprechaun Returns. We're doing a films in the bucket per Kyle's suggestion. Really wanted to tack on that last out Leprechaun movie to our legacy.
So we do a whole series on a movie. And a new movie comes out, you're kind of obligated to do the new movie.
Of course, it's not a new movie anymore. It's been out for a year.
Henceforth, why it's kind of like now it's a film in the bucket, because it's been on the bucket list for like 6 months, 8 months, a year.
That's how slow we've been.
Yeah.
We can't not do it. Like I think we're obligated at this point. Like we did Hellraiser, you know. And there's a Hellraiser TV show coming. Did you hear about this?
I'll believe it when I see it.
I believe it when I see it too. But like, there's like legit horror filmmakers that are making it, and it's going to be a series,
anthology type thing.
I don't know what, but I'm listening. They're finally going to try something
different,
like legit with it. Finally, maybe.
Well, it's interesting because you mentioned that text message about how like your wife was like, oh, maybe do Child's Play, and I was like, but I'm like, oh, she's right though, because we did the Child's Play series. The new movie came out. I didn't want to see it because I thought it looked terrible. I think you did see it, right?
I saw like the first half on a plane, and actually I thought it was okay.
So I'm like, you know what, he's right. Probably should watch Child's Play, because again, if there's another Hellraiser, we have to review it.
Right.
If there's another, what else have we done?
If there's another, well, like it goes without saying, like Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Trying to think what other.
We haven't done Halloween yet. We haven't done Nightmare on Elm Street.
Those are like the big ones. We did these. Oh, they're never going to make another It's Alive movie. I don't know. Like, we're trying to remember what else. There's God, what other marathons did we do? Rocky, I guess. Or they make another Rocky?
Doesn't count.
Yeah,
because that was more of a catching up to.
We certainly didn't. We're like, fuck Fast and Furious. We're done with that shit.
I'd have to look at our history. I have no idea.
What other horror movie marathons did we do? There's at least one more that we're not thinking of.
Leprechaun.
Yeah. Anyway, Leprechaun was our original. No, Hellraiser was first, and
Hellraiser is always first at our
Leprechaun was like the second one I think we did.
I have no idea.
All right, doesn't matter. Anyway, this is still probably the last Leprechaun movie for a long time.
I think you're thinking we did buy a lot of horror series, and we
in anticipation of doing it.
We have the Wrong Turn movies. We were gonna get the Puppet Master movies. We were gonna do.
Oh God, it was too many Puppet
Texas
Master movies.
Chainsaw Massacre. We got
that one.
all.
I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of like we've been buying stuff in preparation and just never got around to it. So.
Yeah, I guess we never did. We did Terminator, I guess.
Yeah.
We did all the Terminator
movies.
movies.
Aliens, did we?
We did all the Alien movies, yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Not always horror, but whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, films in the bucket, because I can finally get this off my goddamn list. It's been there for about a year. And was it worth it? Spoiler alert, it wasn't worth it.
It was...
But it was worth it to know it's not worth it.
Not completely without merit. Hey, I will say this for Leprechaun Returns. It is an hour and 25 minutes. And anything that is less than 90 minutes at this point is okay in my book.
Yeah.
But how long was it for you? Did you actually watch it at normal speed?
It was about an hour.
Okay. Because if you're joining us for the first time, in case Kyle watches his movies at average of what?
Well, that's not true.
3 times speed?
So I have kids. They wake up at night. They come out. I have to try to watch a movie. I try to get at a decent hour. Whatever the case may be, sometimes I got to fast forward through a movie.
Yeah.
Fast forwarding with subtitles on so I can still watch a conversation. A lot of like people walking downstairs. I don't need to watch in full motion because I got to get in bed soon.
Yeah. Wandering around a dark basement.
So I do generally, I got an hour and 25 minutes down to an hour. Sometimes I'm watching it sped up and something happens. It's like I actually couldn't read that, so I'll have to rewind it and then watch it at regular speed and then go back to fast forward.
So the way this results in like just Kyle and my relationship doing this podcast before was that basically you do that, and for a shitty movie, I resent you because I had to spend longer with that movie than you did, and when it's a really good movie and you maybe don't like it as much as I do, I go, fucking bullshit. That's because you watched it at like 3 times speed.
And so see, I don't do that with all movies. Like this is only when we do like marathons or the movies are boring.
Yeah.
I don't have the time.
I'm not going to do Leprechaun Returns. If I could have watched it at a higher speed, I absolutely would have.
Like I definitely am not going to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Parasite sped up, you know.
And they would have made Leprechaun's voice even higher and it would have been better.
So there's 2 ways to do it. If you're watching on Kodi, when you fast forward, there's no audio. So I don't hear the music. So sometimes I would actually like play it to see if there's any music that sounds good. But most of the time I'm actually devoid of like score. And then if you watch it in VLC, you could speed it up and it does an audio correction. So you will hear it not sped up. You can actually hear the audio.
But it won't go...
No, it sounds normal.
Okay.
The only thing with VLC is, depending on how you encode your movies, because I'm playing after like I ripped a Blu-ray, it can start to stutter because you can't actually play it that fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever. You know, there's things in there. Push and pull. I do fast forward through some of these fucking movies because you don't need to watch every second.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow up your spot, but I felt like it needed to be said.
Because I think it's like the purest. Oh, like, no, I'm still watching the movie.
Right.
I just don't care about certain things.
So when you listen to an audiobook and people listen to it faster,
Yeah.
you know?
I don't listen to audiobooks because I feel like that robs you of reading the book yourself. If you say I read a book,
are you saying that, Kyle, are you saying that blind people aren't really reading books when they listen to the audiobook?
they aren't.
Oh.
You know when they read books? When they read it in Braille.
Fair enough.
Unless they can't. No, I mean, this I can turn. We need to have this discussion.
I have no hands, and I am blind, and I don't think it's fair that Kyle says that I am not reading.
Read it with your feet.
Read with your feet.
It'd be like my left foot, or what that movie where he paints with his left foot.
I don't know. Maybe it's my left foot.
But the point being that you don't get the internal monologue. Much like I'm not getting the suspense and the tension from fast forwarding through stuff.
Yeah.
But these movies don't matter. When I watch the
That's that's what.
So here's another example. If I'm watching a really scary movie,
Stop calling it that. It's the witch.
It's the Vavitch.
Stop that.
I even showed it. It says it right there.
It's
VV.
fine, but it's like a cute title. But like you're being a douchebag when you say it that way. It's the witch. It's just the witch.
So when I watch,
Unless you're making fun of it, it sounds like you're doing it ironically.
I would not. So I only watched that recently because my wife watched it with me. I won't watch that by myself. Like that's just. Turns out now I probably could have, but I didn't know what to expect. It's creepy, whatever. I sometimes watch those movies, semi fast forwarding, because I don't want to hear the creeping, scary crescendo music. It's always really odd. It's supposed to. It's make you very uncomfortable. I don't want that. I'm a baby, right? I can't actually enjoy that, so I will fast forward through the scary things.
And this is another emotion I feel is envy, because I wish I could feel that watching. I haven't felt really scared by a movie in years. I would love to be able to feel.
I'm sure we've talked about it before, but Ryan has a history of like going to underground parking structures and then closing the door.
I ruined it. I ruined it for myself. I don't have any more.
You'd find like a corner utility room, like electrical room. You close the door and turn the light off in an underground parking structure just to scare yourself. So
at this point, if I need to get scared, it's like thrill seeking, like jump out of a plane or like, I have a hard time actually being scared by entertainment that is meant to scare you. That doesn't mean I don't love it.
Yeah. So anyway, 7 minutes in or 7.5 minutes in.
We still haven't talked about. We really don't want to talk about Leprechaun Returns. Hey, Leprechaun Returns, best sprinkler head kill ever, because I can't think of another one.
I was gonna say that was overall right at the gate. It's shot okay. It looks fine.
I mean, it looks like a no budget movie. It looks like they had very small budget.
But I mean, the lighting, it all looks fine.
It's fine. It's
the actors are actors, and they do a good enough job of being the characters that were written for them. Mm-hmm. The new non-Warwick Davis Leprechaun, the new actor, looks fine.
I liked his makeup. Yeah, I liked his makeup and costume. I thought,
At first, his voice, I made a note saying, "Oh, he actually sounds pretty okay."
Yeah.
And then every time he talked after that, it was all terrible. I felt like, or not great.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Again, might have been the line delivery or what. Well, okay, we have so many things to talk about. I would say that the script is bad.
Yes.
Okay, and not
Marvel style jokes don't belong in a horror movie.
Dude, the jokes. This is what it's like. It's fine to have humor. Like obviously, Leprechaun is a movie or a franchise that's completely tied to humor.
Yes.
But
the humor comes from the monster being more like kind of vicious and playing with his prey.
But it also kind of depends. Like the pop culture jokes. I don't do the thing where cringe. I don't care. Like it's fine. Like I don't. But
I cringe.
They're bad. Like
really
don't make a joke about Crocs. That's a joke that's like that's old. That's an old joke. That's not funny anymore.
Very true, actually. That's the one I let go because like when the monster's making the joke, I let it go. It's when the person's in peril and scared for their life and they have a stupid fucking like quip to come in.
Yeah.
That's very like Kevin Smithy.
It got more and more into that as the movie went on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then it was like, we should probably go this way. Like jokes like, or like, I probably should have led with the hammer breaking the window. There was like, it was just like, why didn't you just start the movie with this tone, know?
That's why it was completely...
It's
not a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's not a bad movie. It's
certainly not the worst movie I've seen.
It's made for teenagers.
Yes.
I don't know if it was rated R. I'm mad it's rated R. It's got gore out like
it's gore. Very gory.
But this is a teenagers can rent this on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
On their parents' account.
And my thing is do teenagers do that anymore? And that's kind of linked to my other question. Like, is this
considering this movie has a joke that says, "What's a Walkman?"
Yes.
I don't know.
Right. So, okay, this is where my thought going into this, and this is kind of a more general umbrella thing for this movie. I kept asking myself, is this movie, like in a self-aware way, trying to lean into the kind of movie that everybody would expect it to be, like a rated R sci-fi original thing. In other words, like lean into cliches, and I don't even mean cliches that go like there's obvious stuff like, oh, there's the one token black girl, like that's something she didn't die, but she didn't die first, so they didn't do that.
Well, I up front, I probably wouldn't call her token black girl.
Well,
in the terms
she
of,
is.
no. In terms of casting a black girl to be in the movie,
that's what I mean.
She's not a her character.
No,
is not
no,
written
no.
as
Actually, I liked your character, and she's
I wanted to get that out there.
She was super hot too. So like
in movie making, you say like token black guy, it's gonna be the guy.
No, she's not there. Like, damn, she's not doing any of that stuff. No, but I mean, but it started with we need to have a black person in this movie. Yeah, because like it's just something where
it's funny because it actually feels old in the way that there's not an Indian, a Hispanic, and an Asian as well.
Right.
If this is like a 2000s. It only included person of color, and everyone else was white.
I'm glad you mentioned.
I didn't even think about that.
2000s because that's kind of what I'm getting at. This movie felt like it was from 2002.
Yeah.
And
saying the politically correctness nowadays would have one of every race, which I don't care.
Right.
But you're right. There's only one person of color. Everyone else is white.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
And so again, is this movie?
And it makes sense because they're in North Dakota.
Is this movie leaning into that? Like, okay, I mean, in other words, like they're college students. So I guess if we're going to talk about the plot, this is the house where the original Leprechaun takes place is now a sorority house because there's, I guess, a university nearby. And
Laramie, I think.
Sure. Where's this supposed to take place?
North Dakota.
Okay, because it looks like Southern California.
There was a North Dakota Postal Service van.
Okay.
That's why I made note of. Right. They are in like rural.
It looks like Temecula. So
yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sure it was shot out in the woods.
I'm sure it was shot here. SoCal. So the house has been turned into a sorority house. So it's our group are college kids, right? Like it's not high school kids, it's not adults, they're college kids. And you're listening to them and you're like, well, college people don't talk like this. Like this is not but it's not. So again, but that's sort of a trope for horror movies is like writing these characters at this age and like that not being sounding natural at all.
Yeah.
Is that the point, or is this just another movie that just has no idea how to actually portray characters?
No idea.
You that's where you're falling on it. Like,
I mean, that's always the case with a no budget movie. It's someone. Because if they were better, they wouldn't be writing Leprechaun Returns.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And since you mentioned that, let's talk about Pedigree really quick. I forget the name of the director.
What?
Pedigree?
Oh, Pedigree. I think you said Pedigree.
Sorry,
yeah.
I probably because the person that did this did a very wildly successful indie horror movie before this called The Void. Now you haven't seen it.
No.
I
have seen The Ritual though.
Well, The Void's got nothing on The Ritual.
Speaking of Hellraiser, that's the guy who's tapped to make the next Hellraiser movie.
Oh, that's who it is. I knew it was something connected
Not
to...
TV show, but movie.
Oh, now I'm confused.
The guy who's supposed to direct the new Hellraiser movie that if it does happen is the guy who directed The Ritual.
I did remember, and that sounds perfect.
Yeah. absolutely.
Good
Ritual's
Lord.
really good. Go watch it.
Let's talk about good movies.
If I watched Ritual by myself, which I think I did, I probably had to watch part of it and fast forward because it's way too scary.
And I watched that on a plane, so I can't.
I know. I watched it right next to you.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know if it would. But there was.
Wait. Speaking of watching on a plane, you can go watch that video of us going to Seattle on our YouTube
Oh,
page.
Is that when I watched that?
Yeah, you watched on the way back. I remember.
Back to Leprechaun. Let's return to Leprechaun Returns. Okay, so...
Also, I hope the audio on this is okay. 15 minutes in. This is a really janky setup, everybody. So if it sounds weird, sorry.
So I'm sorry this is going on forever. I'll wrap this up. So my point is that... So you fall on like... No, it comes off unnatural because it's ineptitude. It's just people that don't actually know how to write natural characters.
And I don't want to be mean to the idea of like college girls in a sorority being really smart and putting up solar panels and being like botanists and stuff like that. It just comes off as like these aren't 21-year-old college students. These are like, this is written by a 40-year-old, I'm guessing, a 40-year-old white male,
right? Yeah,
who thinks that this is like Kevin Smithy and kind of cool and punchy and quippy, and it would be if the characters were completely fucking different,
right? Yeah, and
You want to talk about plot now, or you want to get into it, or you still want to?
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make a point because you mentioned the teenagers watching it.
I'm thinking college students probably watch shit like this.
Okay,
like they don't want to fit $15 to go to the movies.
Right.
They'll spend $3.99 renting it on Amazon.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and say what you're saying.
Well, I was gonna say because what you're talking about, these characters, I wrote it as very much like we have. You talk about pedigree, you talk about ineptitude and shit like that. It's this. We have I don't even know where my note is.
What 10 billion producers? something like that.
No, actually, okay. So I don't know. Did you do any research on this
No,
movie?
not really.
I kind of forgot.
Other than, again, I know that the guy that directed this also directed The Void, and that's about it.
Okay, so yeah, we didn't. There's no. I don't know if there's any commentary or special features. We didn't get a chance to look into any of that stuff. I hate all the girls, but it's supposed to be a teen movie. It's one of my notes, right?
Yeah. Well, I hate the guys too. I hated. I hated all of them. I hated the filmmaker guy most of all. I guess we'll talk about that when I get to it.
I don't know why I can't find the note in here, but basically it was you have the writing your characters. You have the slutty one, who's a drunk.
Can we do our names? Because I actually have names for them, like other than their names.
Yeah, okay.
Like
So
their
mine were the
we should
drunk.
probably divide. Yeah, mine is just alcoholic girl.
Okay, so she's the drunk slutty one.
Yeah, she's not slutty though.
Well, she's the one inviting all the boys and partying.
But she's not. But it's the other girl that's like, I guess I'll sleep with you again. That's
her ex-boyfriend.
I'm just saying.
It's a little different.
She's the alcoholic girl, but I wouldn't call her the slutty girl.
Okay, I call her the slutty. No. She's the bitch. She's the alcoholic
She's the
bitch.
mean. I called her the mean girl, and then I crossed it out and put alcoholic girl. But she's the mean girl and the alcoholic girl. That's
then you have the brainiac nerd.
I called her the goody goody. She's the goody goody.
Okay. Then you have, like you said, your token character, but she's also extremely intelligent, much like
right. Which again, as the movie went on, that came up more and more. Because it wasn't just like, oh, I'm the one that knows how to replace the.
She was the nice one.
Yeah, the nice one. Sure.
And she was the engineer, fixer, everything.
Yes.
And then you have the main character, who I don't have a description for because she's bland.
Right. She's just supposed to be like
she's almost like the viewer.
But you know what the movie wants you to call her? The girl that knows how to solve her own problems.
Yes.
It's that fucking scene. Like,
yeah, you're right. She's very much like the viewer. She comes in and she doesn't know anybody or anything, so she's learning it all. But she knows her mom and the leprechaun. Her mom is Jennifer Aniston in the first movie. If we haven't made that
they
clear.
wanted her. Also, they're trying to do the thing where like, oh, everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But it's weird and doesn't quite.
So very much like the viewer, you go in knowing at least some about the leprechaun history of the movies, if you've seen some of them or any of them or whatever. And all these people are new. She has a mom who lived through it, has told her these stories about it. And she's here and she doesn't know anybody. So it's kind of like the viewer. They want her to be very ambiguous or androgynous in terms of like anything. She's just there to experience the story until the end when she becomes the heroine who does everything, right?
Yeah.
And then it becomes a Marvel movie with all the humor and shit. It's bad. So yes, those are the characters. And then you have
and then what? No, you have the guys. We have Dumb Boy.
I forgot. We have
Dumb Boy and Camera Boy.
Dumb Boy because he's
an idiot.
He is, yeah. And the Camera Boy is
like he's literally written just like as thick-headed, like dumb guy that doesn't know things.
I'm just trying to remember because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he just wants to have sex with token girl.
And the other guy,
Camera Boy, who can I just do this now and because I wrote down every name dropped filmmaker.
What?
Did you do that?
Oh, I heard Werner Herzog.
Jesus Christ, Herzog.
And
I might have kind of laughed.
Make the total joke. Like, again, these are like smart women who are like really into botany and engineering and all this and that. And I know they're being filmed, but like they don't know who Werner Herzog is because they don't know who Werner Herzog is, right?
Yeah.
And of course the boy knows. He's the film guy.
Well, he's the film guy, yeah.
So it feels very corny and realistic though, because that's exactly how my wife would be. He'd be like, I don't know who that is. But why are they're very, very smart.
And this is again where I try to like I that back to that question, like how much credit do you give to whoever's again writing this, or maybe the writer is the director, I don't know, but like the filmmaker bro,
we don't know that.
Is filmmaker bro?
We don't know if he was hired to direct this thing, and maybe he doesn't give a shit. He just needs the.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have an idea, but sometimes you can tell when I'm like, is filmmaker bro a joke? Or is he like, is he you?
Sorry, I was thinking about the director itself.
No. Well, that's what I mean. Like, is this guy an analog for? Are you like, oh, this is like what I was like in college? Or you may, because I'm going straight to like, fuck this douche. And like, I mean, I love movies, but like,
he's not bad.
I'm trying to do this David Lean shot with my drum. Fuck off. And then like the girl like genuinely, oh, that's very interesting. I kind of couldn't stand that stuff.
I thought that was the least, not, but the least annoying because he's invited by the alcoholic bitchy girl. So you already assume that he's just like, oh, party too, But halfway through, he starts to be more like, oh, he doesn't really like to hang out with Meredith, the alcoholic. He wants to hang out with Lila and the other girls who are a little bit more serious.
He doesn't even know Lila. Lila's the main character.
Right. So he's not that bad.
And here's the thing where you try to do like a really distinct, like, well, this person's this character and this person's this character. It's like, but at some point, if you make them so different, you're like, why do these people know each other at all? Why is filmmaker bro and dumb guy Why are they friends?
Well, why am I
why do
friends
they
with
know
you?
each other at all?
Why am I friends with you?
Well, you're okay.
You never know, right?
Because there's some points of interest rate. What do dumb guy and filmmaker bro talk about?
Well, how is George Conway married to Kellyanne Conway? They're complete opposites of political, and one loves Trump, one hates Trump. How could they be married, right?
Well, let's not get.
I don't know how that works. But
Please keep politics out of your podcast, guys.
But I didn't. I'm just saying. I'm a perfect example of someone who are complete opposites, yet they're married. Don't ask me how it happens. It does happen. So I'm just going to forgive that.
I guess let's get just really quick because I don't care. I wrote them down. Cassavetes, Robert Rodriguez, David Lean, Martin Scorsese, Werner Herzog.
I did her Scorsese, yeah.
And I think I got caught one more later. I don't remember. So yeah, that's I thought that was really funny. He did Cassavetes, which is a pretty. Do you even know who Cassavetes is? See, that's actually kind of a proper film bro, like, but it's also like exactly what you would do to make somebody come off like a massive douchebag, like a massive like film major douche, and
you would know because you at one
yes,
point
because I was one
for a very short amount of time.
I was absolutely one. So this is what I'm saying. Like, game recognize game. That's all I'm saying is I see you, motherfucker. And then Robert Rodriguez in the same sentence, like the two fucking most different things. Anyway,
all right.
So speaking of this main character who's coming into the story, and you said her mother had told her stories or whatever, the whole thing is that.
So okay, let's start with the plot. Yes,
Yeah.
as I usually summarize plot and everything. Okay, it starts with the end of one. They reshot the end of one, sort of, but with the new actor.
Which I'm glad that they did, because I didn't remember.
I actually had to go. I went back for about 10 minutes before this, and I fast-forwarded through a lot of the first movie, because I didn't remember exactly what happened. And I don't remember them going to a hospital or like a nursing home in the first movie. Like, there's a lot of shit in the first movie.
I wanted to rewatch the first one. I just didn't have time.
And boo, because so this is a Terminator Dark Fate. We're going to forget T3.
Or a Halloween
Returns or Halloween?
No, motherfucker, it's just called Halloween. So if you've never come to the Halloween franchise before, it's literally Halloween. And then, no, there was a Halloween remake by Rob Zombie in the 2000s. And then the sequel to Halloween is Halloween.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fucking awful. They should have done something.
So this one, it starts with the end of one, which is them, which I distinctly remember when we did a podcast on this. The only thing I know is that you knew was the last phrase of the first movie when you give the one-liner to kill the monster.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it is, but it's he takes the four-leaf clover and he slingshots it into his mouth.
Yeah. And you're right, he does say like, suck on this bitch or something like.
So this movie has to have one of those as well, which I think we get to the very end. But it starts off with, I don't know if they don't show that. I saw it because I went back and watched part of one.
Yeah.
But it starts with that when he does that and he falls into the well. And then he's supposedly dead in the well because the four-leaf clover is bad for leprechauns.
See, I didn't remember any of that shit.
The way the first one ends is, yes, they have a four-leaf clover. Leprechaun's scared of it. He puts in a slingshot, shoots into his mouth.
Right.
He falls into the well, and then they pour gasoline in the well and light it on fire, and it explodes.
Just to be sure.
Which, if you remember the end of this one, it's the same. Everything blows up and it's big, right?
Right.
Okay. So they kind of recreate that. And what you are meant to understand from that is that Lila, our main character, is this daughter of Jennifer Aniston in the first movie, who was the main character then. She's now passed away.
Which I'm like, darn, I guess that doesn't open up Jennifer Aniston to come back for any sequels. Well.
So you go, much like Terminator Dark Fate, this is a continuation minus all the sequels.
Yeah.
What connects us to the original? All we got was Ozzy.
Which I liked Ozzy.
I like Ozzy a lot, but no other characters from the first one. No sheriff, no like kids grown up.
Right.
Only Ozzy, and he dies in the first 20 minutes.
Really mean way too, but they brought it back, took the meanness sting out of it a little bit.
Okay, and then the ghost of Ozzy. I know we're skipping ahead.
I sort of like the ghost of Ozzy stuff.
But I liked it, but it was so out of place.
It was.
What movie?
But that's kind of this movie. This movie's like super gory and mean sometimes, but then it's also just like this weird straight-to-video fucking...
Good example is I had my wife watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang because she liked Nice Guys.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched that in 10 years or so, whatever. And I watched it and I realized this is not the movie I remember it being. I remember it being a fun romp with Val Kilmer. And
there's some dark stuff in it.
But then there's also some really light-hearted like
that's
stuff.
Shane Black, though. Shane Black will like go serious, and just when it's about to get too serious, absolutely undercuts it with a joke. But it's all intentional.
So it's the same thing. She said the same thing watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I go, what movie am I watching?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, because once upon a time in Hollywood, it feels like 4 different movies kind of mashed together.
Yeah.
Like different. It's almost like I'm gonna do 6 different genres in one movie. Just watch, right?
Yeah.
And if you do it right, it's great. If you do it wrong, you go, what the fuck am I watching?
It's very hard to switch tones. You have to really know what you're doing.
We start with the horror movie, and we end with these like Marvel style one-liners, and now there's a ghost that's walking through a wall, but the thing won't go with him because he's a ghost. What is this movie?
Yeah,
I
feel like that's what when he shrugs his shoulders, is like, I don't know. That's like what the movie was saying.
But I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked
it too.
If we had leaned into that the whole time,
which he's only doing because of American Werewolf in London. This movie is, we'll say, homaging so many horror movies, and
that's all it is.
I will get to them as we get them, but that's like the whole movie. It's like, now we're going to be Army of Darkness. Now we're going to be Evil Dead. Now we're going to be this. Now we're going to be that.
When you mentioned the whole film school thing, and then you add the character in that is the film guy, and then all you do is reference other movies, you're just like, you're up your own ass. This is a first. Usually, this is just like what I would have done in college when we were writing shit and doing things. This is like a first time person who doesn't realize,
oh, I love aliens. I'm going to have. I keep this around for Close Encounters. That's be fucking badass. Put that in the movie.
Exactly.
It's actually always distracting. And it's probably not that way for normal movie audiences, but like Godzilla King of the Monsters, there are several little homages in there to other movies that every time that happens, I'm like, why did you? They're in the snow. There's a scene where they go to a base in the snow, like in Antarctica. And
as always, we're talking about other movies now.
And so literally now, I know. Anytime any movie does that, you're like, you have to throw the thing reference in there.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have to? It's like, it's the only movie that took place in the snow? Is that what we're doing? Like, I think that it's somebody goes, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? I'm like, just stop it, okay? I've seen the thing 10 billion times. Don't do that, okay? I get that it's an homage. Anyway. So she's going to college. She's joined the sorority. She's come to this town. She meets up with Ozzy because she's trying to get a ride to the house, and the girls are not picking up their phone, the ones that she's supposed to be living with or whatever. So she's stranded.
And there's actually no cell service out there.
There's no. Well, they got rid of. Yeah, they made that not a thing.
Question: Did they ever, or even maybe mention that there's a battery, because they got solar power, but the lights are on at nighttime? I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't.
Oh, I don't know. You can't like store the energy and then use it for nighttime stuff, or
it's called a battery.
Okay, so what does that have to do with?
Most solar is not. Like, most solar is just solar. Especially if you're off the grid, you probably would just have solar panels. Now they do things like power walls. Like, I'm actually in the process of starting that too, of getting solar and power wall. But batteries weren't a thing. Oh, it was like you had solar to help net meter your bill. No one was making batteries, that are.
You can't store energy with your solar panels, is what you're saying.
Generally, no, but you can now. Like, it's a newer technology that's been around for a few years.
Okay.
But it's like, did they make mention of that? Because when you kept solar. Oh, solar panels. How do you have electricity at nighttime?
Where the fuck did they get internet? That's what I want to know. They're like, oh, now we have internet.
That's
like, because they have power? Where the internet just magically. You have to have still a landline, like, somewhere. Like, what do you.
And you might say, why are we worrying about this kind of stupid shit? But here's the thing. It's kind of the crux of the movie. They mention losing power, having phone service, internet, looking up how to kill a leprechaun. All these things become plot points.
Again,
but I'll take it. They have a 400-pound battery attached to the house that they drove up themselves.
I mean, that doesn't bug me as much as just if you're going to do this. Oh, these girls that are like eco whatever. Yeah, they're nerds. They're going to live off the grid. Because again, on paper, you look at them and you go, "She's the plant nerd. Yeah. She's the tech nerd. She's the whatever." And you're like, why didn't you guys run with that more? Like, why aren't they actual like hippie eco? Then you could have your satire. You could have your comedy come from Leprechaun coming from the 90s, like the most like fucking offensive, like not caring at all about PC anything, literally to completely racist movies that go to the hood or whatever. And he
raps.
And having him pop up into this like super woke college household, like that could be fun. But it just like never really goes there.
Right.
It's like she's the girl that knows everything about plants, but also she kind of acts like she doesn't know anything about plants.
Well, the one who's like the plant one's the one who's like she likes plants because she can turn them into alcohol.
Right, which I get that, but that still sounds really intelligent.
You're right.
Like, I don't know anybody that can just be like, I'm going to turn clovers into booze. Which that's my first, like, can you do that? Like, that's just a thing in this movie, right? Like, you ferment anything. Yeah. Okay. We'll got to get to the movie, I guess.
Okay, so we have the setup. 25 years later, he says that if you leave a little piece of leprechaun alive And I guess there was one coin in Ozzy's stomach that he swallowed, which I guess has been in there for
And that was in the first movie?
Yes.
Because I didn't remember that part.
I guess he never got it out. I don't know. And when he went towards the well, he got close enough to it that the leprechaun was able to sense the gold power and rebuild himself somehow.
Well, he like spewed his like whatever essence he had left into the air in like a big splash.
Well, that also didn't make any sense because I figured that splash was supposed to scare him when really it was them.
He got it in his mouth.
Right, but the idea like that happened should have been, oh, sorry, that was our water, because they make they make a point before that to like.
And they should all be drinking him. Essentially,
well, that could have, they're gonna put a water line in the well, so she could be like, "Oh, it was a backflow and it blew up." He would be scared thinking the leprechaun's alive.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It was just the water line.
Right.
But no, it's literally somehow he comes back and comes out of his stomach, which they already did. They did that in 2 or 3.
Oh yeah,
when he had the pot of gold in the guy's stomach.
That's what it was, because he wished for it, right?
Yes.
And so but you didn't say where you wanted it, right?
Which then they bring that joke back too, because it says,
I didn't say I wouldn't kill you. I just said I wouldn't lay a hand on you.
Right. Yeah. So he comes back by killing Ozzy right away, and which is like, oh, but
but it was really mean. Like it was a totally like really mean death for a character from the original movie.
Leprechaun's not a nice guy.
No, he's not. But I mean, like it wasn't made to make me feel sad or anything. It was just kind of like, well, fuck this Ozzy guy. We don't need him anymore. But then he came back later.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is I thought that this was I'm like, really? That was pretty unceremonious just to give him like this really like awful
death. That would be
bringing,
I mean, not completely, like, they bring Lynn Hamilton back and then she dies in the
just
first
have her
10 minutes.
like head blown off or something like that,
So it...
Oh, he's also racist against Irish.
Who is?
Well, because he's got all the clovers in his truck, and she's like, "Oh, so you like the Irish culture?" And he's like, "No, I hate it." And it's like, I know I said that, but I'm just like, "Oh, that's funny." He's just like he's racist specifically against Irish people.
Yeah, there's a line in there somewhere where he mentions something, and the leprechaun says something like, "Now all you have to do is like, oh, lucky you. All you have to do is have a nice like painful death kind of thing."
Yeah.
And you forget, like, he's not just like, "Oh, I'll just kill you. Just get it out of the way. If you don't want to suffer, here, I'll just die." No, I want you to suffer.
Well, not only does it seem like he enjoys it, but this is sort of canonizing that he gets more powerful from it.
Yes.
So like the more people he kills, the more powerful he gets.
But like, let's just get to the point. He doesn't just kill you. He makes it hurt.
He makes it fun.
It makes it fun for himself, but it makes it unnecessarily painful for you.
Well, unless you're killed by a solar panel. That guy went pretty quick.
Yes, he did. So, okay. So, yeah. So he's back. So she's in Devil's Lake, North Dakota, I guess. That's where you build a college, in Devil's Lake.
Yeah.
They have a fake Google called Boogly. I like that. And they had Funstagram. Because this is one of those things where, like, we talk about new movies. You have cell phones now. You have to address, like, well, could you just call the police?
Right.
No cell service. Oh, how do I get a hold of it? How do I Google this? That's kind of funny. I think they actually say Google it. But they
meant to say Boogle it.
Yeah. Anyways. So yeah, they're there to fix up a house for the sorority. So the house is still in disrepair. They're out there to make it a sorority house. So it's not quite one yet.
Right.
The college has agreed to it because the girl paid for it. So they're there to fix it up and make it the sorority house that they will live in.
Which is kind of silly because it seems like it's really far away from the campus.
Right? She said it took like an hour to get there. Okay, water explodes. Ozzy's stomach bursts out, kills him.
I like the mailman kill. I think that was before that. That actually might be my favorite kill.
So here's something that happens in movies, and this went nowhere. Ozzy gets killed because the leprechaun grows inside of his belly and blows up.
Yeah.
The main character, Lila, has a dream that night, or like falls asleep and dreams Ozzy's dead, standing over her, and she freaks out and wakes up.
Yeah.
There's a drop of blood on her face when she wakes up.
Right.
That never goes anywhere.
No.
And that's a
the dreams in general don't go anywhere. It's kind of like, why does she have? I mean,
but that's a trope that, like,
sure.
Oh, the dream was real or something, but then it was never addressed or anything.
By the way, just real quick to give the movie some credit, I enjoyed the makeup. Like, that very first dream she has, where you see his face all melty, I thought it was gooey and fun. The whoever it was that was in charge of the gore and the kills and the makeup, I say you did a good job.
Yeah, you did absolutely fine.
That's so, and usually that's all you need enough for a movie like this.
There's a little bit of off-camera stuff sometimes, but for the most part, it was good. Like the drone, I think they kind of started showing it and then they cut or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 25 years. Okay. Oh, that's what it was. The horny one, the nerd, the bitch slut, and the outsider. That's my character name.
The outsider. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so the basement's flooding, and you get a fake out that's, I don't know what year this was, but I feel like someone watched It Chapter 1.
Oh, yeah. So that's one of the ones I wrote down. It was like, what horror movie are you being right now? Oh, you're being that. And that's literally the only reason it's there. There's not something later where like, okay, guys, but in like the third act, like, but we have to go down to the basement. And we're like, yeah, but the basement's full of water. Like,
Right.
nothing like that.
Right.
It was just...
Oh, also, the basement's totally not full of water by later.
Well,
I guess
because
they
she pumped it out because she knows how to solve problems.
But they never showed her pump it out. Like, not that they
she
have...
knows how to solve problems.
Right. It would have been better, yeah, if you went back down there and it was still flooded. Kind of, oh, that's more of a Home Alone situation when he's running through the house at the very end and he goes in the basement and, oh, shit, it's flooded.
It's there literally because he wanted to do a shot with Leprechaun skulking around in the water.
Or his hat floating in the water.
Yeah, and that was effective. Yeah. I thought it looked cool. But again, it's just like, oh, yeah. I remember
and it had a little exposition to show that they had a bunch of clover juice.
Yeah, the clover juice.
Yeah, in mason jars and stuff. Wow, that was a payoff. Whatever. Okay.
Get there, I guess.
So the Lep tries to kill her right in the beginning, but his magic isn't very strong
Did you just
yet.
call him the Lep?
Oh, I wrote Lep all the time.
If you're just joining us or you haven't listened to that podcast in a long time,
I had a feeling you called him Lep or something like that.
No, I don't know. I didn't really think. I hadn't even thought about that until you brought it up. But we mentioned before that the Leprechaun does a rap. We didn't even
Lep
mention
in the hood.
that Warwick Davis did pass away.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he's still alive. He just didn't do this.
Unless he's dead now.
I don't know.
No, at the time he was not asked to do it.
Okay, Warwick Davis is not in this movie.
Right.
I don't know who the guy is that's playing Leprechaun.
I have no idea. And I don't have internet right now.
Warwick Davis does he does a rap on one of the chorus of it is that the chorus is Lep in the hood, like shortening Leprechaun, so like LEP,
yeah,
like Lep in the hood, here to do no good. That's the chorus.
I thought it was up to no good or something.
Or
like
maybe
that.
up to no
I don't
good.
know.
It doesn't matter. But Lep in the hood.
It really doesn't matter.
They just like decided for themselves that his nickname was going to be Lep. Hey, Lep. Like, you know, he's Lep.
I am typing notes, so I don't want to write the word Leprechaun.
No, it's fine.
So I wrote Lep, and I'm going to read Lep.
Got it. So what's Lep doing?
So he tries to like kill it with a pitchfork, and it kind of moves a couple feet and falls. And I was like, okay, because he had no qualms about I'm just going to kill people immediately. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So that's when you go like he's not like funny and cute. Like he's nice most of the movie. It's because he can't kill them really. He doesn't have the power. So he says, but what's weird because he needs to get his gold back to get his power. But then he says I can kill people to get my power. But the problem is he needs the power to kill people. So whatever.
It's like he goes from like powerful to like Super Sentai status. Like when he actually gets his gold.
But at the beginning he has like nothing. He can't do anything at all until he kills the mailman. I guess
Right.
that maybe gives him a little bit of power.
Well, he can flush the toilet to make the shower cold. Ooh.
Oh no, he flushed it with his actual hand though.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, how fucking diabolical. Like what there was literally no point to it either. Was it like they didn't even have a shot where because I know they
Psycho.
They do present Leprechaun as like a creep, you know? But even then they didn't do that. It wasn't him going like, ooh, boobies. Like they didn't do anything like that.
Well, there were some sex
He was just
jokes.
like, ha, ha, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ruin her shower.
That's what it was. Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. I wrote that down and was like, is this the worst you could do is flush a toilet?
Yeah.
So yet he killed Ozzy though, but I guess Ozzy had a coin in his stomach. So I don't know how.
Well, that's where he came because he was inside him.
He wasn't. Well,
Yeah, he
the
was
water.
because he had ingested.
But how did he get that power? It's because I guess Ozzy has the gold
Because he had the
coin
one
in
gold
him.
coin in him.
So that gave him enough power to kill him. Whatever.
You're ascribing way too much logic to this shit.
Well,
it's too bad because actually the character and the concept itself is like, give this some motherfucking rules. Like you have this.
Well, that's what I mean. The movie is giving me rules.
Yeah.
So I'm following its rules.
Right. But it doesn't choose to do them enough.
It's not terrible. It's a little vague, or it's a
It's
little
just like the
inconsistent.
shoe thing. They threw it away on a gag, like on a dumb joke. And I'm like, that's so much fun and bizarre. Can you imagine somebody that's never seen Leprechaun before, and you were like, and everybody was saved all of a sudden from like sudden slaughter because they realized that like he has a compulsive OCD need to keep shoes clean and tidy and organized.
I kind of remember that being a thing, but what is that?
That was in the first movie. I mean,
first one?
Yeah, because I think I don't remember exactly in what capacity, but I thought that was funny and one of the best parts about it because like it wasn't. He's always so insincere all the time. Like
Right.
he's always lying. He was always telling a joke. He's always like but like in this one thing with the shoes. He is absolutely, legitimately sincere. Like,
But also, it's one of those things you're like running away from him, and you're like throwing shoes at him, and he has to. Yeah,
and he has to
picks them
stop.
Up. Yeah,
that's what they were doing. They're like, oh fuck, god damn it, you guys! Like, and he has to put the shoes away.
right.
Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, you're right. I just couldn't remember exactly. I felt like that was a thing, but I wasn't sure. Okay, so mailbox or mailman.
Yeah, mailbox kill.
First real like he's back and he's gonna kill someone. The dude delivering the goddamn mail. Like, come on, man, leave him alone. He got nothing to do with this.
He gotta level up.
Right. So he somehow
Fits in that mailbox.
fits in a mailbox.
It's like I know he's small. I know that's what the movie was saying. It's like he's small. I'm like, yeah, I get he's small, but
He's got
He
magic.
doesn't fucking fit in a mailbox.
No, it's his magic because he goes like he pretends he's a cat.
Yeah.
And the guy puts his hand inside and then like, it bites him and then I don't know. He somehow gets the
He drags his head inside.
Is that what I was like? How did he get his head in the mailbox?
No, he reaches out, grabs the guy's head, pulls his head into the mailbox, and then what happens?
And then
because then his head's stuck in the mailbox, but I don't know how he gets out.
Well, he runs around like ironically like a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah.
Whoa! And then he runs into the mail van.
Yeah.
And then I think, he's going to drive away and just leave him here in the mailbox. But then the guy falls over, and then he backs up the mail van over the mailbox head.
Squish.
And yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
I just like, is he going to run him over? Is he going to... Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're going to go literally as far as they can, smash his head.
Yeah,
and
that was okay.
And then I saw the gore and was like, that was a blood spray.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Ozzy being dead and, like, intestines is one thing. This is like an explosion of blood. I was like, okay, I know what we're going for
This
here.
is a gooey, squibby movie.
Yes.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. So after that, he...
Wait, is that... I wrote down, you give great head. Is that when he said that?
No.
That was later.
That was later.
Okay, I won't
Which
talk about
didn't
that
even
yet,
make
then.
any sense. Yes, there are some sex jokes. Again, they're all out of place. They're all inappropriate. They're all out of place. Whatever. Okay, so... Yeah, then she's taking a shower and he flushes the toilet and the flat shower goes cold. Ooh. Okay, I don't remember how we just skip lots of stuff, right? So, the leprechaun meets Lila face to face. Is this after the panda bear head thing?
It's the same scene.
Okay. So she goes to her room and her stuffed panda bear that she had is like...
Had its head taken off.
Well, no, it's in the bed.
No.
Under the covers.
Under the bed.
It's in the bed with the head showing above the covers. Like, as
Okay.
if someone put it in her bed.
Right.
Then she looks underneath the bed for some reason, or she's looking for something, and she finds the body of the panda
right.
bear
Okay.
with, like, the stuffing falling out, and then she looks up, and the panda bear is right in her face, and it was actually Leprechaun wearing the panda head.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where he mentions his gold, wants his gold, and it was like, and this is the thing about Leprechaun, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know what gold. I just want my gold. I won't kill you. I just give me my gold. Fucking go find it yourself. I don't know I'm nobody.
Well, I mean, it turned out.
But then he like licks her foot or leg and he goes, "Ooh, you taste sweet, just like your mom," or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, okay, so there's a connection there. And he sees her necklace and he says, "Oh, my gold," and he tries to grab her necklace and it burns him.
Yeah.
It's not a cross.
No.
What is it? Any idea?
I thought it was the gold. Well, it's iron. I know that.
Well, they say it's fake gold. It's pyrite.
Oh yeah, it's fool's gold.
Right. So it'd be like basically pyrite, which is like mainly iron.
It was given to her. Her mother said it would protect her,
Oh.
and so she knew something about the iron, I guess.
Is it ever been established in these movies or in any lore that leprechauns
I don't know
and
about
iron?
leprechauns, but that is true of fairies. So, and yeah.
And you know that, of course.
Well, I read Hellboy. So
Okay.
there's a Hellboy story where there's a baby that's been stolen by fairies and replaced with a fairy that looks like a baby, but he knows different, and he goes, "I know what babies like. They like iron." And he pulls out a horseshoe, and it's like, "Oh, fuck you, Hellboy!" Like, and he turns back into a fairy, and it's like a whole thing.
That's funny. I know what kids like. Iron.
I think iron is just kind of a general catch-all and like more European or like specifically like British or United Kingdom style mythology. Whatever.
Interesting nonetheless.
Yes.
I thought there was a giant leap there, but I was like, whatever, I'll go with it. The way that they figured it out was just like, again, this is like the smart college students who are like way too smart for their characters.
Yeah.
So they figure that iron is a thing. So they surround him with like pots and pans and shit.
Which was like, just like fucking hop over it. You can fucking fly. Like, what are you doing? Oh, whatever. I get it. It's
So yeah. So now we know the necklace is going to play some kind of vital role in hurting him. Yeah.
I did appreciate that there was no fucking around. There was no like, is he real? But again, that's the movie was kind of going like, oh, gaslighting the main character. Like, there's a leprechaun. And it's not like, oh, she's crazy, because we've
Right.
already heard about her crazy mom. And
she actually talks out loud about how you guys probably think I'm crazy. And
Yeah.
It's obviously you don't know me, so why wouldn't I sound crazy?
And by the way, that mean girl, she look, what a dick. Like, she, like, literally unprompted for, like, no fucking reason. Like, oh, like, you sound, what did she even say?
Like, your mom went crazy, and I hear it's hereditary.
Yeah, I'm like, what is wrong with you?
In the first, like hour that she met her.
Yeah, I'm like, what did she do to you? What happened?
That's why she's an alcoholic. She's just very depressed and mean, you know?
Yeah, but Jesus. Okay. But I was gonna say I appreciated that it wasn't. On one hand, I'm glad that they got straight to it. He just came out and like, I'm the leprechaun and I want to be gold. And there was no like, but also at the same time it was weird because part of the plot seemed like it was trying to be like, but she's seen the leprechaun, but nobody else has yet. And, you know, but then almost
lasted 5
instantaneously,
minutes.
like the other character's like, oh no, I also saw the leprechaun. It's here.
Well, so
I took a selfie with him.
there's a couple things I want to get to about that. First, though, is that the thing. This is like a Child's Play thing. I feel like a lot of people just kick him.
Yeah.
Because he's small.
But I kind of...
And he doesn't have a lot of power right now. So literally you're just kicking a little dude around.
Yeah.
She tries to hit him with the book and the lights go out.
Right.
Then either lights come back on or she's looking around with her cell phone. She does hit him with a book.
Yeah.
And his fucking head just like, with like, 3 strings attached, just flops off. And I'm like, what is this about? And then, of course, he can put his own head back on really easily.
Yeah.
Then he says, you give good head.
That's what it was.
After she was arguing with him, because, of course, that's what you do with your killer, is at the shower, and he says something about her boobies. He goes, I meant to say, like, goodies or oodles of something.
Yeah, it was another...
It wasn't even a good joke.
Yeah.
And if, I don't want to be mean, but I'm like, okay, that would work if one of the characters who was the slut, had a big boobs, which you would expect from a teen horror, whatever.
Yeah.
Main girl doesn't have much of a body.
No.
So the joke is, and whatever, the joke is just lost on that.
Yeah.
If that had been used on the girl who was the slut, who had the big bikini tits and everything, okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't play.
No.
So, yeah, good head, and it's just like, but whatever. It's a bad joke.
And then I was saying to myself, I'm like, how did he... I guess people said that.
Like, if you
back then,
if you headbutted somebody, she'd like, wow, you give good head.
Yeah.
But he hit her with the book.
Technically, he gave her a good book. She gave him good book. That's what she gave him.
She gave him book to his head. I don't.
I mean, maybe he was like, also if he like was more decomposed looking. You know what I mean? Like kind of like in the beginning of the movie where he looked all melty. That would make a little bit more sense. Like if you could just, this whole movie is going to be people like knocking his head off and then putting it back on. Or like, oh shit, my hand. Let me get it again. You know,
like he breaks, like she hits him and he breaks his neck sideways, and then she hits him again and puts it back, and he goes, "Oh, you gave me a good head."
Wow, you're a better director than whoever made this movie.
You mean writer?
Writer.
Yeah.
No, literally that what you've just said. That's good. Like that would make me smile.
Yeah, because it's almost like it's like a Gilligan's Island joke where everyone's feeding the birds secretly. Like it's like someone does something and someone else does something and actually puts it back. You know,
that's really good.
Anyways,
good job, Kyle.
I guess. Thanks. I mean, it's sitting right there.
As soon as you said that, I imagined the scene in my head. I'm like, yeah, that would have been 10 billion times better.
But again, it's sitting right there for the taking. You know, so. Okay, so at this point, he runs out of the room in the dark, and the camera boy is filming a night.
Oh, and he's doing the found footage horror movie.
That's why I was already wondering. Are we going to
do that? Now we're doing the found footage horror movie.
I thought that was going to become a thing.
Yeah.
Completely does not become a thing.
No.
Even when he says an animal ran past me, I got it on my camera. She goes, "It's no animal." Then she proceeds to say, "I'm crazy because it's a leprechaun." Look at the fucking camcorder footage.
Right. But she doesn't need to because immediately she's like, look, here's something.
No. Because then they go outside and they run into everybody else. And then the girl comes running out saying, "Oh, it's a leprechaun." I go, why didn't you just look at why did you say that? Again, you go, who cares? The movie gives me rules. I shot it on my camera. That means you're going to show it on the camera to somebody. And you never do. Filmmaking 101. I teach my 7-year-old this about video games, right? We're playing Bloodstained right now, which is an amazing Castlevania clone made by the guy who makes Castlevania. It's a great game.
You're playing Bloodborne right now?
Bloodstained.
Oh.
It's a Castlevania.
Oh, the 2D scroll.
Yes.
Yep.
It's great. There are secrets in the game where there's like a wall that you can just break. There's no indication. It's really just like Castlevania 2, where it's just like, if you didn't know to hit it there, it would never happen.
Hey, did you subscribe to Nintendo Power, kid?
Yeah, totally. But I teach my 7-year-old in a movie or in a video game, if there's like a path you're going down, there's a left turn somewhere, and it goes about 30, 40 feet into kind of a dead end, there has to be something there.
Right. It's not there for no reason.
Put it in to
really
dead end to nothing. Movies, you don't put extra scenes in.
Don't put setups that don't have payoffs.
Yeah, don't have dialogue that has where your brain goes, something's going to happen with this, and then nothing ever happens with this.
At least the drone paid off. Hey, the drone paid off better than the. You didn't watch the Blair Witch Project remake, did you?
I did. She finds it in the fucking tree.
Yeah, it's like nothing. It's like, oh, they're gonna do something fun with this drone. Like that's because that's new.
Yeah.
And then like not really anything.
Well, if you're saying that it paid off, I would say I'd rather that one not have paid off.
Well, it was. Yeah, it was.
Well, okay, half of it paid off. The other half was like witch on a broom.
I was kind of into that. Okay.
See, if you're gonna be dumb, just go full dumb.
But that's what I mean. Like I was, oh, are we gonna go full dumb now? Like and
then we never really do.
They do, but it's just not good enough.
The first 30, 40 minutes is semi-horror-ish.
Yeah, it's
and then
more
it gets
of a traditional, again, it reminds me of like a Tremors sequel or something. Like,
and then it gets dumb. So
let's talk to the alcoholic girl.
There's a golden shower drink.
There's a golden shower joke.
A drink. Joke. Yeah, sorry. I said golden shower drink.
What the fuck is this?
That's what I'm saying. There's like these sexual references jokes, but...
Again, because he's supposed to be like a filthy, dirty little Irish leprechaun, and...
Are Irish known to be dirty little...
I don't know.
Like, Irish gets the drunkenness, right?
Yeah, there's that, but he doesn't even really imbibe at all. And which I guess would be racist.
She's okay. So she's having a drink, and he's like on the kitchen counter, and he startles her, and she spits on him, and he goes something about a golden shower.
Yeah.
What?
What?
And she was drinking. And okay, maybe she was drinking a Pilsner or a beer that has a really amber color.
She's blonde, maybe?
She's drinking Clover beer.
Right.
It is, or Clover alcohol.
She's not drinking Clover alcohol, because if she spit that on him, he'd be like, I'm melting.
Oh, you're right. But I mean, she's drinking some kind of weird plant thing that she made. It's not like
she says,
golden.
And I just want to say, as an alcoholic, okay, there's no fucking such thing as alcoholic hallucinations. That does not exist. There is no amount of money you could drink, no amount of booze you could drink.
Money you could drink.
But you are drinking your money. That you would just like, I'm seeing things that are not there. That doesn't have, pink elephants. No. The room spins. That's about what happens.
Yeah, no Barney from Simpsons.
No.
It's one of my favorite things in the Simpsons video game for Super Nintendo. One of the bosses is, I think it's Barney riding a pink elephant throwing peanuts at you.
That's good.
So yeah, there's these sex jokes, but they're not even appropriate sex jokes. So they're kind of stupid because that's when you're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Again, filmmaking 101, you didn't set it up good enough, so the payoff just feels cheap. Yeah. It feels like a movie that's just like, here's gore for gore's sake versus actual reasons to have gore.
And that's fine. A lot of that's par for the course for a lot of these movies.
Why is there a fountain pond full of blood and bloodstained, if not for the fact that you get a power called blood something seal or steel, and you absorb all the blood later,
right?
So it pays off. That's why the game has tons of blood in it, not to be creepy. It's because it's about a fucking vampire.
Right. Oh, I answered our "Why is the basement full of water?" question.
Why?
I'll get to the end when we get to the end.
You already forgot.
No, because then I'll have to spoil the end. I guess it doesn't really matter. But when we get to the
I'm
like how they kill the leprechaun.
I don't know the. We'll get there then.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't really know what you're going for. So takes a selfie with.
I'm not saying it worked.
I just don't even know what you're referencing.
But I understand what they were attempting now.
So the drunk girl takes a selfie with him.
Yes.
And he doesn't kill her or anything like that.
No.
But again, he has killed the mailman. He has the power to kill people, but he just, whatever. He's trying to make deals with people to get him his gold and shit.
Yeah.
So I guess he makes a deal with her, and she's like, I'll give you Lila if you just like leave me alone or let me, whatever.
Which is, why would she doesn't even know he's a threat or anything yet.
She thinks she's hallucinating at that point.
She thinks she's hallucinating, yeah.
And yet she's, whatever.
But then later she's like, no, there's this creepy guy. I got a picture of him on my phone.
But this brings up another joke. She takes the selfie, and he goes... I just literally realized
Walkman joke?
I just realized this joke doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he goes, oh, interesting, a Walkman and a camera put together, and she says, what's a Walkman?
Yeah.
Which, for people who hate on us about our fucking CD joke in Twin Peaks video or whatever
Something
we did.
like that.
Oh, I don't want to see. Fuck off, There's a major motion picture. There's a picture that a movie that had an actual budget by a studio. Okay, that makes the same joke, and she says, what's Walkman? But how would he know it plays music? Does it play music in that scene?
Well, they were listening to music, but they were listening to it on their Wi-Fi speakers or whatever earlier.
And that wasn't in the same joke room setting anything. He hits her with a Bluetooth.
No,
she hits him with a Bluetooth speaker at one point, but it's not even on.
As far as he would be concerned, it would just be a camera.
Right. So, one bad joke, not actually bad, because he calls it a Walkman. What the fuck? Why does a leprechaun know what a Walkman is anyways?
Because he still existed. Because he woke up for a little bit in 1990, whatever the fuck.
1995, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have Walkmans in 95. We already had CD players, I think.
Okay. Well,
I
got nothing.
I mean, granted, there was like cassette tapes in 95, but I mean, I had a portable CD player in 9th grade.
Yeah, you're right. Because I was a 90s kid, and I didn't skip tapes, but like definitely like CDs were more.
I never had
the rule of the day.
Only cassette tapes I did were on a home stereo. I don't think I had a Walkman. My first portable player was a CD player. Portable. Terrible idea. Anyways, so 2 jokes, whatever, bad, dumb. Next scene, she runs out and then says, oh, it's a leprechaun. So now they know the girl's not crazy.
Yeah, so I'm saying this whole little plot thing that they were going for lasts all of a couple of minutes.
Right. And you are right. It's let's just make every horror movie in one.
Yeah.
Because I like those things and I don't have any original thoughts of my own.
Yeah.
Which... that can be okay if you're a good filmmaker. Like the Vavitch, I guess it's like his first movie.
Yeah,
that's very impressive for someone who's never directed a fucking movie.
I mean, he's done like student films and shit.
But for somebody to get cameras and actors and on set, on location, on a farm,
that's like the lighthouse.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Oh, you maybe should.
Maybe I should. Maybe I won't.
I think you should get high as balls and watch The Lighthouse.
Maybe you should watch The Vanishing.
What's that?
It's a movie that takes place in a lighthouse, but it's not the lighthouse.
Okay.
It's okay. It's 3 guys on an island. They have to work at this lighthouse. They find someone. It's like very uninhabited. It's just them 3. They're there to make sure boats don't crash, right?
Does anybody fuck a mermaid?
No.
Well, I don't know. I want to watch it.
Right. They find a drug dealer boat that has stuff, and these guys show up, and then like they know that whatever, and then they come and kill them all because they want to put drugs and money or whatever.
Is it a Chinese movie or something?
No. It's
just weird because I feel like The Vanishing is the name of another movie. Like,
yeah, it's the white car movie. The guy that drives.
That's Vanishing Point.
You're right. I have 2 movies on Cody that both say The Vanishing.
I think there's another movie where a guy kidnaps this guy's wife and he's trying to find her, and then actually, never mind. I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway.
Lighthouse movie. It has Adam from Sex Education, and it has Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler?
Which one's Adam? Is that the main kid?
He's the bully whose dad is the principal.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah. So that's why I saw that movie, and it has Gerard Butler in it. Gerard Butler, is that his name? The guy who like Angel is fallen?
Guy this is Sparta. That guy?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it has 2 actors I knew in it, and I was like, okay, whatever, I watched it. That's my Lighthouse movie.
Okay.
Yours is the fucking Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe, weird ass 4:3 black and white sideways movie.
It is very strange. I think you would enjoy it. I don't think you would enjoy it sober.
I feel like I don't watch anything sober, but I feel like that one's a little too out there for me to enjoy. You know what I mean?
It's not hard to follow. It's not even that. It is art house,
or
but
it's
like
too arty for me.
Yeah, but you would appreciate the cinematography and
it's black and white though. I do like black and white.
No, it is gorgeous.
Okay,
like the things they do with the camera are really impressive. Anyway, let's talk about something. Yeah, tangent. By the way, I like multiple Lighthouse movies, so I don't need just one in my life. I also watched Cold Skin. It was really good on Shudder, and I really enjoyed that. And that stars the guy who played the Punisher in Punisher Warzone.
Oh. So
and he also fucks a mermaid.
They see
mer person.
They see she shows the selfie of the leprechaun, so they all know it.
Yeah.
They still say something about her mom being crazy.
Yeah, I know.
In the same scene.
Like that's why I noticed that. Like I can't remember like the chronology of that, but I remember like, what? You guys already abandoned that plot point by doing. What are you doing?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So he's still just asking for his gold. I kind of like the setup at this point, though. I thought the movie could turn into something interesting because I know it's just you go in the hands of a better filmmaker, right? I don't think this person's incompetent. I just think they just had the wrong idea and the wrong.
I mostly just think the script is really bad.
Yes,
the direction's actually
so.
Fine
My note here is I kind of like the setup of them all knowing.
Yeah.
And they now, because most of the movies, it's like you don't know, right? So they're getting picked off one by one because no one really knows what's happening.
Right.
Here, they all know there's a monster. How are they going to fight back? What are they going to do as together as a group? They're all really smart college girls.
Right. They're engineers and botanists.
Yeah,
and,
right?
Yeah.
Mark Watney's going to come.
They got a
show
surveillance camera expert who could do something with his camera equipment.
And they do practically nothing with that but run around in the woods scared. With a flashlight that when they hear a scary noise and they want to hide from the leprechaun, they point the flashlight into the darkness to let themselves be seen from any distance.
And this is what I'm saying, kind of back to like the shoe thing. It's like, you know, you do have like these. I mean, it's magic, so it's not really. There's not that many rules to play with because it's magic. You can do anything, but you do have some stuff. You know what I mean? To play with,
which is what I always say why Star Wars sucks, because you could just like the Force will fix it all.
Yeah, well, he has the Force. Literally has the Force. In this movie.
I'm like in the middle of watching The Mandalorian, and I just made a joke about that. And I think even my 7-year-old mentioned that he doesn't like it because he's just like, but he can just do anything. I'm like, I know.
The Mandalorian can't do anything.
Not the Mandalorian, but just like
you mean Yoda,
little baby Yoda, which is like the Force in general. And then I went on.
I don't know how that show's charms did not like work its way on into you.
Well, we like the Baby Yoda, but at the same time, the music is really bad in that show. I mean, just get that out there. Mandalorian's music is so bad.
I mean, only because it sounds like every other fucking like it tried to be an amalgamation of every.
It's inappropriate for the
temp
scene.
Score of the movie.
Even the temp score is wrong because it was like no one even thought like this is a scary scene. Put scary music. Here's a scary scene. Let's put like an upbeat show tunes.
All right, we're getting off topic again.
But as someone who doesn't know much about Star Wars, and you had the midichlorians,
I think that's been written out of the canon at this point.
But you like described it to me, and I guess I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to my wife, and she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I went, "Oh, Ryan told me about this thing." She's like, "Really? It's in the first trilogy."
Yeah.
And she's like, "That's fucking dumb."
Yeah.
Anyways, because how do they know? Well, whatever. I don't want to talk about the Mandalorian right now, but
anyway, my point is that again, when you said like, "Oh, maybe this movie will be this thing now."
Yeah.
Like, let's get our heads together and. Okay, we know that except they don't know his thing about shoes because again, they just blew it. It was like this little, but like imagine if they knew that, then it could be like, well, what can we do? Let's come up with a plan.
That was after The shoe scene was literally after bugs in here flying around. Come on, Ryan, keep your store nicer.
Because somebody's hiding in the closet.
She calls him a vile troll.
Oh, yeah, and he's like, that's offensive. I thought it was okay.
But it's like, this thing is killing people.
Yeah.
You vile troll.
Yeah.
They
don't know he's killing anybody yet, I don't think.
Oh, no. Solar Panel Man's already
this
been
was
cut in
after
half.
solar panels? Okay.
The one okay, so God, we're just all over the place this movie. But this movie is all over the place. That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know if serious, funny, horror, not horror, whatever. There is one good joke. He does the set off and payoff. It worked. Set up and payoff. You're drilling the solar panels in wrong. The screws need to go in straight or it'll fall out. Later on, the Leprechaun uses magic to make the screws fall out. Those two things are not actually related because Leprechaun can have the screws come out because he has magic.
Right.
But there is a little bit of a setup.
It's funny because when you say that, like, I didn't even think that. I didn't go back to the setup. I was just like, oh, he's just used his powers to make the thing. And then later I was like, oh, I guess that was the movie reminding me that he didn't put the screws in right. Yeah.
But also, I watched that scene with audio, so I do watch some of the movies, see? One good joke that came out of that I actually laughed. I chuckled out loud, maybe even made a little laugh, was, oh, God, he's split in half. And he was like still standing there for a while because the thing...
Well, they did the thing where you've been cut so fast and so cleanly that you're still kind of
But
there.
the solar panel is now like embedded in the ground.
Which is, I don't know how you do that because the solar panel is clearly like several inches thick, and I don't know how. I'm just saying.
You're right. They run away and they go to the car, and then she goes,
"Do you think he's still alive?"
Yeah, the token. She's like, I know it cut him down the corporal plane, but maybe. Oh no, maybe not.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's funny because like in a time of shock and stress, she knew he was cut in half, but she was just like, but are we sure he's dead? Yeah. And she's like, oh no, obviously he's totally fucking dead.
And then they drove the car off at 5 miles per hour to get away. Those interior shots of the cameras inside, filming them inside the car, and you can actually, because they didn't do like a what you would do in another movie, right? You have the rear projection or anything. It's just, I'm like, they're driving 5 miles per hour down the street.
I know there's the joke that we couldn't outrun him on the drone. I mean, I wouldn't drive down a wooded, dirt road.
A little bit faster than 5 miles per hour.
Again, you talk about out of date jokes. It's obviously a Prius.
Right. That's the car of the future.
What year is this? Also, Priuses are amazing vehicles now.
Yeah.
Like, I was, years ago when I was thinking about buying a new car and I was driving a lot for work, I was like, I need a efficient, I need to drive far, and I need enough space to put tools in. Priuses were affordable, and they got good gas mileage, and they were bigger than I thought, because I rode in a car with someone, I was like, wow, this is a Prius? It's actually very roomy in here.
Well, it's just a disingenuous joke, because it's like, I don't know how to explain like the science of jokes, but like what is wrong with the car? What is he perceiving that is wrong with the car when he says like, oh, I don't think much of it, or like that's the car of the future, not impressed, or like why isn't he impressed? Because it's why? Like what? He doesn't know anything about fuel economy or whatever.
Right.
Like yeah, like just the way it looks.
Which also,
they don't look that goofy. They just look like cars.
They could have been driving a goddamn Tesla at this point. This movie was 20.
Right, but you still have to have what is it about a Tesla that would make it worth making fun of?
It does look different. Maybe if like the Cybertruck showed up, you know?
Yeah. That would obviously
like the weird shit,
like
right?
that dumb like truck thing that the Tesla truck or whatever like actually looks weird,
like a tank.
Yeah, like that maybe.
But like a Tesla has like a weird glass roof.
Yeah,
it's very stylish differently. It doesn't look. This is not Demolition Man where the cars will look weird or.
Maybe if you joke about like the car was able to like sneak around because it doesn't make any noise or something.
Yeah,
it has there's something that he can actually comment on other than just it's a car that drove away.
Which, again, would a 20-year-old in 2020 or 2019 when this movie came out find that joke funny? Because they've lived with Priuses for the last...
And that's when you go back to the teenagers and stuff. Like, for them, it's commonplace. Like, for them, it's not like some new thing to make fun of, like South Park or whatever.
Was
like,
this script written like 7 years ago, but then just didn't get made?
Maybe, possibly.
Either way. Okay directing, bad writing.
There is a line, and I don't remember who says it, but she says, he was wearing that friggin' jaunty hat. And I thought I applauded the use of the word jaunty, and also like again, like a college student would use that thing.
I think the solar panel kill actually, it was the first time I went like, what are we doing? Because it turned into a slapstick.
Oh, before that, it turned into like almost a kung fu movie. Like it was
the barrel. It's not a barrel. It's like a cage, but it's shaped like a barrel, right? Yeah. It's a cylinder, and he throws it at a leprechaun, and he jumps on top of it, and he starts running on it.
And meanwhile, I just can't stop thinking like there's a used condom in there.
Because it's a trash can or something?
No, that's when dumb guy has sex with Token Girl outside. He takes his used costume and he puts it in there and she goes, "No, don't put that in there. That's for whatever." And that's the thing that they're kicking.
Oh, I don't remember. Sorry.
So there's a gross used condom in there. That's all.
Fast forwarded through that scene.
All right.
Again, no setup with no payoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Right. Like it should have gone flying out of it into the leprechaun's face or something. It would have been great. I mean, I wouldn't have done that, but
or he would have. Or no, because that was the dumb guy. The condom
on his face.
Yeah, something, right?
Cum on his face. I guess I got cum on my face. Like, you know.
Also, Steve was doing that video before we did this. There was someone else recording, just for you guys to understand. We're at the comic book store right now because we don't have a studio because I've moved and whatever. They were doing a video. Someone else was doing a video before we started ours. Steve said something about come on him something or other, and I was over here chuckling to myself, and I'm going, he probably didn't hear the joke that he said out loud. Anyways.
Come on me. Shame on you.
Oh, he's talking about the movie with the bathhouses, and he's just like,
oh, I don't. Okay, whatever. Nobody ever saw this, so
it was a really good line though. I don't remember what Steve said. Anyways, that would be one of our followers on Instagram, Pop Cult Maven.
Pop
Shout out! Shout out! I got to meet him finally. Anyways, yeah, the Crocs thing.
My next note is the Aussie ghost. I don't remember.
Okay, so this is the point where the alcoholic bitchy girl
right.
Sorry.
Oh, this is where the movie's being Night of the Living Dead.
True, but because I'm not going to just say she got locked in the basement. She tricks her.
Yes, but
to go down in the basement together.
This is important. This is important. Before she tricks her, literally, there's a time where I think it's a good idea to go in the basement. No, I don't think it's a good idea to go to the basement. I'm sorry, no matter what movie you are ever in life, if you do that, you're going, oh, Night of the Living Dead.
Yes, but the point I want to get across, the plot-wise, is that she's made a deal with the devil at this point.
Yeah.
She is not looking out to save her sorority sister.
No.
She's trying to skin off her own self, whatever.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So Layla the main girl gets stuck at the house, and the rest of the people try to escape.
This is the girl. Yeah, this is the same girl that says that she made the deal. Says I won't lay a hand on you.
Yeah,
but he later ends up killing her with sprinklers.
And I want to talk about that scene when we get to. So Layla's stuck in the main girl's stuck in the house. Lila Lep goes after to chase the other kids, leaving Lila in the house, and then that's when she sees.
So do we want to talk about Aussie Ghost, or do we want to talk about the drone and the witch with the broomstick?
Well, I don't remember which one comes first, so I don't care. But I want to talk about them both.
Let's get the Prius and the sprinklers out of the way so we can get to the basement. So they drive away, and he somehow chases them, riding the drone that I don't know how we missed. The camera boy gets his head cut off with the drone.
Yes.
At some point. Which I feel like that was a cutaway shot. It starts to cut his face off, and then it cuts away and his head falls on the ground, so we don't get to see the full gore of that one.
Right.
He's literally riding the drone like a witch on a broom.
And I thought that was kind of
funny.
It
looked terrible.
It did look really bad. But it was like, this is what you guys should have just leaned into.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is where, like, okay, he's small, he fits in a mailbox, that thing, or, oh, he's magic, you said, or whatever. But, like, this is the stuff where I'm like, he's a little guy. What do you want? Like, yes, I want to see a leprechaun riding a drone. Like, sure. Fine. Like, do that.
And, of course, they're like, swerving the car, and he's next to them, and he's like, just, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. He's even cackling like a witch, I think. He ends up accidentally running into a tree branch, and it goes right through his eye, through his head. Is that a zombie? Fulci? Reference?
Sure, maybe. Yeah, I'll take it.
Who else has a branch go through an eye?
Fulci is the king of eye trauma. So anytime anybody does that, you can go ahead and give him credit.
That's Giallo, right?
He did Giallos,
but he's the king, or is it?
No, definitely not.
The Suspiria guy, right?
The Argento.
Argento did Giallo. Okay.
Yeah. They all did Giallo, but Fulci did gross. He did yucky gross.
I see some. Yeah, I know. Sorry, we're talking about European 70s horror movies right now.
Better movies.
Or Italian 70s horror movies. So so the drone, he crashes and then the car crashes.
And then they find Ozzy's corpse, right? That's what.
Yes.
Okay. And then
I forgot about Solar Panel Boy. They need the keys for the Prius.
Oh, she needs to go get the keys out of the. No, they find the keys in Ozzy's body.
No. Before all this,
the truck.
Only because this is just a dumb gag. I want to bring it up.
Okay. Where she falls into his body.
They first get in the car, and they don't have the keys. They realize Solar Panel, cut in half boy, probably has the keys in his pocket. Token girl goes to get him. She somehow trips over the hand that got cut off, falls, and then somehow face first plants her face into like his cut in half body.
Yeah.
And then proceeds to like have a hard time getting up and
it was a little overacted.
Jeez, man. These are jokes that can work in other settings. They don't work here.
Yeah.
And she wasn't very good at selling it, like you said.
That's what I'm saying. I think might have worked if it was a different performance, but it was just like, oh, wow, you really are just rolling around on the ground, aren't you?
And then, like, we probably couldn't shoot it more than once because the cleanup and the makeup.
Exactly.
Yep.
They couldn't do another take. That was it.
So now that we got and then now they're out and wandering in the woods.
Yeah. The camera guy says, I'm going to wander off this way.
No, he's dead because he's riding the drone.
Oh, you're right.
Or is it no, maybe he rides the drone first, then
I think that
the kill comes.
Yeah, he kills him with the drone. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, because he's like, I'll use the drone to see where he's at.
Yeah.
And then he kills him with the drone. So does it matter? Okay. And then there's 3 girls. No, because Lila's with them in the woods.
No, she's not. No, she's stuck in the house. She does get out of the house later.
So is there 3 of them? There's Token. There's the nerdy one.
There's Token, Nerdy, and Token Goody, and Alcoholic Girl. Alcoholic Girl's driving. She's fucking drunk.
She's like, I'm so drunk.
Yeah.
Why did you have the drunk drive the car?
Yeah.
There's 5 of you or 4 of you. One of you could, whatever. Dumb. This is where, yes, now we can talk about Ozzy's ghost in the basement.
Yeah, I like this scene.
Feel free, because I'm sure you could take a better take on it.
Well, nothing. I was just going to say, I thought that this guy was unceremoniously butchered at the beginning of the movie, but it was so he could have this little payoff moment where we're just going to say he's a ghost, even though when she asks him if he's a ghost, he doesn't know. Here's I have a question. Why can't he talk?
He opens his mouth and maggots fall out.
Is that okay?
I was fast forwarding to that part and I saw the maggots fall out, and then
I was trying to remember if there was any specific trauma, like he ripped his tongue out, or anything.
He tries to talk, and then nothing but maggots fall out. Okay. So then he doesn't talk after that.
Okay, I actually kind of liked his performance.
Holy shit! This is the best scene of the movie. Best scene of the movie.
Oh, you're agreeing with me?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I like the scene
because he can't talk, so he tries to reenact the entire first movie.
Yeah, that was gold. That was like literally like, oh wow, they just did a plot summary of the entire first film. That's amazing, and he did it in charades.
And while the main actress, I don't think she's a bad actress. I think the director directed her acting.
Yeah,
inappropriate Marvel style one-liners.
Yeah,
is like, I got nothing from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could have delivered that differently, but the joke there is that, if you had no idea what the fuck he was talking about or miming, you'd have no idea.
And again, not breaking rules or whatever, but again, this is another like, I like American Werewolf in London, which I don't even know if you've seen.
I have. When I was like younger.
When you're a werewolf, and you kill somebody, you see their ghosts. Their ghosts haunt you. But we've never seen this before. This is just like happening. I
like that. So his guts are hanging out. She goes,
with the saran wrap.
She goes, one, are you really here, or am I just crazy, right? And he's like, no, I'm here, basically. And it's like, are you a zombie? And he's like, no. Or he shakes his head, no.
Like,
are you a ghost? And he's like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Am I? Maybe.
Yeah.
That was a really, like, God, if that was the tone of the movie, could have been really good. So she gives him saran wrap so he could put his guts back in.
Yeah. And he's like, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
That works.
That was cute,
Yeah, I enjoy that. That's it. That's all I have to say about it.
And then at one point, he points to her that like there's something in the wall.
Yes.
Which turns out to be like a treasure map.
She finds the treasure map.
Which is whatever.
She got a treasure map. I don't know why they made a treasure map. There's some gobbledygook in there about like, this person wrote this thing and that thing, and I didn't catch any of it.
I just whatever.
And this is where she's like, I'm gonna break my way out of here.
Well, before that, Ozzy's like, let's go, basically, and he turns on and walks through the wall as a ghost. And the joke there is the saran wrap doesn't go with him; it falls on the floor.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh no, yeah,
I totally missed that.
He phases through the wall, and the saran wrap falls to the ground.
Oh, fun.
And then she goes, I can't do that, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Hey, ghost Ozzy. And then he never replies, and she's like, I guess I'm on my own. Hence the let me break out of here.
Yeah, and then she picks something up, throws it at.
She makes a one-liner though, doesn't she?
That's what I'm saying. This one-liner was really like for bad one-liners. This is one that stood out to me was where she tries to do that and then takes a hammer, goes, I should have led with that.
No, it's two. So I don't remember what it is that she picks up. But she makes a one-liner about whatever, like the item that she told me, like let there be light.
Yeah,
and she like throws like a. I don't know what it was. Was it a flashlight?
It was just a. I don't even know.
Yeah, something like that. And
the pump, maybe the pump.
That's what that probably was. Let it flow or something. I don't know. Because it was probably the pump. And then yes, she goes to a toolbox and finds a hammer and goes, probably should have just led with that. You know?
Yeah. No, don't do that. Okay. So now she's out of the house, and who's left alive?
Then they come running back from the woods because
Sprinkler Girl. So Mean Girl is running back to the house. I don't remember. Well, they've already made their deal.
They're mad at her. They're like, you made a deal with him?
Yeah. But she's like, whatever, you need to survive.
She goes, you guys want to run away.
Yeah.
I'm making my own deal.
I already made my deal. You guys make your own deal if you want.
Yeah.
Which that line was funny. Like, he's making deals. Why don't you make a deal with him? I like the back to the Hellraiser. Because, like, let's make a deal. I don't know if you remember that. Like, I love a bad guy that can't resist a deal.
If Hellraiser's making a deal with you, or any monster for that matter, just imagine this. Every slot on the board is a whammy.
Yeah.
There's nothing but whammies.
No, it's nothing. Whammies all the way down.
Or it's like $1,000 presented to you by a whammy.
Right. This
for
is
all you youngins that don't know what whammies are.
So of course Lep is going to kill her. It's only a matter of like how is he going to do it. The sprinkler death scene for me is the most odd, strange. Who wrote that? Who like conceived of like death by sprinklers?
I don't know.
Because it wasn't even because I'm sitting there wondering, I'm like, how is he actually going to kill her? Because right now he's just spraying her, and I'm like, is he going to drown her?
But again, how did he conjure up the magic power? Is it because he killed the camera boy, so he's got a little bit more strength?
He's got more powerful, yeah.
Because we haven't gotten to the gold yet.
No gold yet.
So he's just like magically.
He's getting his telekinesis vibe back. Yeah, he's telekinetic.
He sprays
so it makes this movie kind of like part Carrie, like part whatever. Okay, he just sprays her with sprinklers. That's what he does.
Yeah,
that's all. And she can't run through them. Like
the water's coming out.
She stops. Yeah, like I can't. The sprinklers are stopping me.
And we're not talking like little floor sprinklers in like on a lawn. These are kind of like higher. The ones that shoot like in a you would see at a park.
Sure, you could still.
Well, because I mean,
run through the sprinkler.
Yes, I just the idea that like don't think about like, oh, my ankles are getting wet. This is the kind that shoots in a what do they call that? When you do the fucking dance, the sprinkler dance.
Yeah, the sprinkler dance. Yeah,
it's one of those. It's like 2 feet off the ground and it shoots really far.
It's like, okay, fine. She can't see. You're spraying in your face, and she can't see. So she trips and breaks her ankle.
Sure. Well,
that would be what you would do.
That kill comes later.
No, she's just like, I thought you said you weren't gonna lay a hand on me, and it's like, oh, you're right, my dear, I did say that, but I didn't say I wouldn't kill you with sprinklers. So that's what he does. She's distracted, and then eventually he starts popping the sprinkler heads off, and again, they're just kind of hitting her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, ow! It's like, ow, fuck, that smarts.
That
like,
weighed 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Ow.
Ow. And I'm still like, how is he gonna kill her? Like, I'm like, I understand that the gag here are the sprinklers, but like, what are we doing here, guys? And then eventually he does just launch one sprinkler head at her at such a high velocity, I guess, that it goes to the back of her head, out of her mouth.
It just hits her in the mouth.
Or into the mouth, and then, okay.
And then it starts spraying a bit.
And then he probably does some...
You know what? Not only would the gag look better, the gag make more sense, it could also be a better done one had it hit her in the chest and started to spray blood.
Oh, yeah.
And then she could look at it and be like, ah!
Oh, yeah! Totally.
That's what I thought. This was obvious. Like, that was a dumb one. Why wouldn't you have hit her like right in the heart?
Like, she lands, like she falls down.
Not even falls down. Just it hits her, but it could go boom right into her chest. Well,
right, but there wouldn't have water attached to it, like
the blood.
Right, but he took the sprinkler head off, so it wasn't attached to anything anymore.
Yeah, the sprinkler head.
So there wouldn't be any water coming out of it.
No, sprinkler head hits her in the chest and starts spraying blood instead of water.
Oh, because like the propulsion of her blood spraying out of her body.
Okay, the thing is, it hits.
Because I was thinking like her falling down and her like he making her trip, and then she goes like tumbles down over with her and like lands their face on it, and then the sprinklers like actually spraying her blood. Well,
that's what they try to do. Is it hits her in the mouth, and sometimes starts spraying blood. But like it only hit her like in the front teeth.
Yeah. It does kind of seem like on paper somebody was like, yeah, and then the gag is that blood sprinkler.
Yes.
But it just didn't come together.
I'm thinking like he hit like an artery.
Yeah. Yeah. But then something happened, like the budget, or like we only have one take and it couldn't work, or who knows.
Because the chest allows the actor to look at it and go,
then look down and be like, oh my god, I have a sprinkler in my chest.
And then it can sprinkler blood right in her face.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, we should make movies.
We should make movies. But we shouldn't. We should have someone pay us to tell them what movie they should make. Because I don't want to make a movie.
To be fair, somebody probably had to write the script in like a week.
Yeah. Still, hey, we've been here for an hour and we came up with better jokes already.
That's true. Okay.
So then we get back to the house and the girls reunite. There's 3 girls left. The main character and the other 2, the token and the nerd.
Yes.
And
then we got to find the truck. So we get the map. That's what it is.
The map, yes, yeah.
So Token Girl hooks back up again with, why is Token Girl separated from Goody Goody?
Look how many notes I made.
Well, you've always been like, why how does Goody Goody and Token get separated? Because Token and Main Girl are the ones that...
So, okay. They all meet up.
Oh, and you're right. Map. And then they have the map. They go find the truck.
They go find the truck. Where the gold isn't even buried.
No, it's just like in the front seat.
In the front seat of an abandoned truck out in the middle of nowhere, which
Yeah.
It makes me think about Better Call Saul when she's like, what do you think happens?
In fact, it is so poorly hidden that the goody-goody character turns out just found it.
Yeah,
without a map, just wandering around the grounds. And used most of the gold to pay for the sorority house reconstruction.
Well, she
or
was
whatever.
going to pay it all back, and
Yeah.
why?
Okay,
It's
and this
free
is where
gold.
I don't think I've ever heard Bismarck said so many times in my life. First of all, is Bismarck a place? Is it like something that's anybody? Is it a landmark of some sort? Is it anything anybody cares about?
I think
Have you ever heard of Bismarck before?
Yeah, I think it has some significance in like early.
If you live in North Dakota,
no. Like, I think maybe like early.
So is it kind of like going to Georgetown, sort of like it would be like a tourist trap kind of place, kind of thing?
Well, maybe a smaller.
I'm just like, and again, I'm shooting ahead to the end. I'm like, why do we care if the Leprechaun goes to Bismarck? What's in fucking Bismarck? Why are we hanging all of the sequel on Bismarck?
There is going to be no sequel.
There won't be, but
even if there was, it would have to be a different fucking movie. There's no way you can continue this dumb
I'm just
story.
saying, you make a Leprechaun sequel. He goes to Vegas. Great,
No, okay,
sounds
we'll
like fun.
We'll get to that.
Okay,
we'll get
fair
to
enough.
Because that's a terrible, terrible scene. The last scene in the movie is fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's really bad. So they find the gold, but it turns out most of it's gone because she spent it.
Well, I was gonna say this is the Better Call Saul thing. I found a bullet hole in your car. She's like, "What do you think happens to abandoned cars in New Mexico? Kids take shots at it all the time.
Yeah.
You find an abandoned car, you're gonna go dig through it."
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and JR dug through an abandoned car we found at the Colorado Lagoon and found a thing in the trunk that I took. That was a car someone had stolen and dumped, and we were like, "Ooh, what's this?" Dumb 20-year-olds. Everyone's gonna look through a car if you just see one sitting there.
Imagine if you found a pot of gold.
Well, I might put it back. No,
Because you've seen Leprechaun. No, guys.
trust me, those gold. Well, no, that's more
Those
like.
belong to Lep.
Even if not, every movie would tell you that belongs to a drug dealer.
Yeah, right.
They'll totally know who you are somehow.
You have to pay me in gold bullion. Okay.
So they come up with the plan of, let's use the clover. We have the clovers. We don't have time to go find a 4-leaf clover. Let's use the clovers to our advantage.
Yeah.
And then they immediately cut to like...
Well, they just decide like, well, there's no way we can give him all his gold back as we don't have it.
Oh, yeah.
So instead, we need to kill him.
Yes. We'll use his strengths against him.
Right.
None of which we're going to say what they are.
Right.
His weaknesses, we don't know them at all either.
If only they knew about the shoes.
Yeah. So it like literally just cuts to him spying on them in front of the house where they're pretending. Like they're, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. But like, how did they get there? How did he? Whatever. Don't care. But they're setting up a trap.
Yeah.
Which is kind of obvious, kind of not.
Tampon trap.
They fill the pot, which is magically way smaller than the old pot used to be, I think. I don't know.
It's lost a few.
And it only had some gold coins in it. So they fill the bottom of the pot with tampons just so the gold looks like it's flowing over the top.
And I love this because...
That's
again,
where you make
just,
a tampon joke. Or a sex joke.
Well, it was the tampon joke. But there's no joke that follows up. But it's also the kind of like, okay, did they go to the house first and then do that? Because where did they get all this just carrying all those fucking tampons?
I mean, they were in front of the house having the argument, the fake argument.
Then they go to get the tampons.
So they had already done that.
If you had a pot of gold, it would weigh a significant amount.
There wasn't that much in it, though. Oh, he would know how much it weighs.
If you gave somebody a pot of gold that only had about an eighth of gold in it, and then it was filled with tampons, you would probably notice.
No. If you gave somebody their pot of gold that they knew how much it weighed, they would know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you give me a box of shoes, right? Brand new shoes, and I can feel. I'm like, I feel the heft of this. It feels like there's shoes in here. And then you take the shoes out and you fill it with tissue paper.
Tampons.
And you give it back to me. I'm going to go, I don't need to open this. Where are the shoes? what happened to the shoes? They're not in here anymore. Anyway. So, of course, so they make him think like, we're going to give your gold back to you, but it's a trap. And the trap is that, oh shit, there's tampons in here. And then this is the iron bit, right?
She puts the necklace on him.
Oh, she puts the necklace on him. Right. So, which is made out of iron, but we didn't know that.
Wait, no. Something's happening here. Okay. Now they're in the house because they're in the living room. And the thing is, they were outside when she made the gold deal, I think. Oh, no, she goes inside the house.
The gold deal happens inside.
Yeah, but they were outside when they were talking about it when he's watching them. They're inside the house. Yes. He has magic powers to make her sit in the chair.
Yeah.
And
because he's got significant amount more of gold than he had before.
Yes. And so he's like,
What happens?
He kind of doesn't trust her. That's why.
How do we go from like, oh, there's tampons in here to him being incapacitated?
He starts counting the cold. He finds a tampon. He pours it out. Finds her tampons. Does she go now? Because I feel like this happens later. Because the other two girls are actually hiding in the room. Oh, that's okay. I know what happens. They're hiding in the room with them under like a blanket, and he had no idea they were there. You know, he has fucking magic powers to find people that whatever. They beat him. They beat him with like iron dumbbells.
Okay.
In a pillowcase.
That's what. Okay. Now I remember, because I remember thinking like they're gonna pillow fight him.
Yeah.
The pillows had things in them.
You see it afterwards. It's part of the circle of iron things they make. Oh
shit! I'm just like, they're just gonna. I mean, this is kind of funny, but like he's gonna be incapacitated by pillows.
Yeah, and then she puts the necklace on him at some point.
Yes.
Either there or after this.
Yeah.
But then it's like shoves a hose in his mouth, and they're down in the basement pumping the clover juice into the hose.
So this is where I'll come back and say
this is where the water bit works.
This is supposed to be the payoff to the setup. Like, oh, she knows how to use a pump.
Yeah.
So they'll use the pump to get the clover juice.
I kind of until I thought about it right now. Yeah. They literally do a Big Trouble in Little China, like, man's getting bigger, he's going to explode.
Oh, can we talk about the editing in this scene?
Sure, because I don't.
It's all Evil Dead. They do like a straight like putting the shit together and the like, or maybe that's when they electrocute him. I can't remember. But there's a scene where they're like doing their.
I think it's that
MacGyvering.
One. And I see she was pouring the clover juice into a pot at one point.
Right.
I remember that.
There's a the way it's edited is like, oh, I like Evil Dead. That's okay. And somebody, I can't believe nobody said groovy like at the end of it, but nobody did. You're right. So they force feed him the
clover juice, which causes him to literally explode into
lots
bits.
of gooey chunks.
Tremors. Very Tremors like.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna do Army of Darkness with the small people.
Yes. Okay. So blows up. They're like, let's go get the power restored.
Because we have to burn it. Because they said, the guy said that Lep said that if you leave any little bit of him, he can come back. So we need to burn him. So goody, you stay here. You're going to sweep him up.
Because they have to get every last piece of him. This is kind of funny. This is like the reality in the movie when you go like, well, why isn't a character taking a dump? They've been awake for 5 days. When do they poop? Movies don't show people pooping, right? They don't need to. This is the fun part where you're like, oh, we have to burn every bit of him. Well, he's all over the walls.
Yeah.
He's exploded and guts everywhere. I guess I have to sweep up all these fucking nasty guts?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's your job, I guess. Yeah. That's kind of funny.
But the little pieces of him turn into...
This is hilarious,
little Leps.
This is the T-1000 Terminator 2 thing.
Yeah.
This is your Terminator nod. Yes, little pieces turn into little tiny leprechauns. She gets pissed off at them and starts fighting them and goes... I was somewhere last year. I fought off like rodents or possums.
No, she's poachers. Save sea turtles from poachers.
Okay, so she's like, I know how to fight off.
She's the goody environmentalist or whatever.
She's like, I know how to fight off you little rodents.
Yeah,
and so she starts trying to fight them. They cut her with a knife. She's trying to hit him with a hammer. Somehow she gets the hammer taken from her.
And then they use it against her.
And he throws it at her.
Yeah,
and it goes in her chest, and she continues fighting.
Yeah,
he says, "Stop." Hammer time.
Yeah.
And does
oh god. He starts to do it. It cuts away.
No.
But he fucking does the dance.
Because there's more than one leprechaun at this point. There's like 4 or 5 little leprechauns. There's another movie that does this where they kind of gang up and fight. It's not just Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. Oh,
there's
sure.
other ones.
Yeah, of course.
I can't think of them, but it's kind of like this. Yes, the ones in the backgrounds are doing the hammer dance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Also,
who's this movie for?
Yes. I mean, I can say, like, who knows who MC Hammer is, but, like, yeah, I guess...
You go, oh, this is for just dumb teenagers. Dumb teenagers don't know what the fuck MC Hammer is.
Maybe they do.
No, they do not.
I'm thinking, like, he's still...
No.
Maybe.
You know who, like, giant... Okay, so the Beast Cast, like, yeah. Abby's kind of like my... I mean, she's not that young.
She's like 25, 26.
She would, like, barely know who MC Hammer is. I guarantee it.
I guarantee you, like, what we would know as MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Most people probably would know who Vanilla Ice is, but don't know this song.
And she might say that. She might say, like, oh, is MC Hammer like, is that like a Vanilla Ice thing? It's like she might do something like that.
Right. Or is that the guy that does the dance?
And she'd be like almost the way there. Like he's a rapper that nobody takes seriously.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, it's something to do with the Addams Family? And she's like, oh my God, I love MC Hammer because I love Addams Family.
The Addams Family.
Yeah.
This scene ends because the little leprechauns find a way to trip her so that she falls face first onto a spike of sorts.
Oh, it's like a trophy. It's like a trowel.
It's the shovel from earlier.
Yeah, it's like it's the thing that she got for being a person. I don't know.
Yes, and she falls head first. It goes right through the back of her
Right
head.
to the back of her head.
Very much like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
With the kill in the backyard.
Yeah.
The Mary.
Yep.
And now she's dead.
Yes.
And they walk back in the house and discover that.
Yes.
The Lila and Token.
And then they see Lep.
I feel bad calling him Token, but I don't know her name.
I don't remember her name.
This isn't South Park. It's not Token. But that's how I'm going to refer to it. I don't know her name.
Overall braids girl. Overall's braids girl.
The engineer. Solar panel girl. It's so sad that this is how you describe your characters because they don't matter or don't know their names.
Sweep twerker. Sweep broom twerker.
Oh yeah, that's how she convinces her ex-boyfriend to fuck her is by sweeping with her butt sticking out.
Yeah.
After she vehemently says, "I am not sleeping with him anymore," immediately tries to fuck him. Not he tries to fuck her.
Yeah.
She tries to get him to fuck him.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
Bad.
So now he's reconstituting. Now he is doing the T-1000.
Now, they're melding together like after the T-1000 gets blown to bits, frozen.
Yeah.
And he starts putting himself back together. That's literally what we do now.
Yeah.
And it's really fast too. He does it pretty damn quick.
It was going really fast.
Did we forget about the David Blaine joke?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Who is this movie for?
Again, I guess the script was written in the early 2000s. It has to have been.
It does one of those things where like, is that like bad and ugly? Listen, like David Blaine,
And then it's like a
or
follow up
is it just
David Blaine. Yeah, and then it's like a follow up David Blaine joke. Like,
I don't. It was so bad I don't remember what it is. I just wrote down David Blaine joke inappropriate. Okay, someone says you're not dead. Good for you, and it was sincere, and it was a good joke. Like I think when they get back to the house and Lila's, they're like, "Oh my God, you're not dead. Good for you."
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like,
That was goody said
see,
that.
like there's good jokes in here. There's good stuff, you know. Anyways, okay. Face plants. They make okay, and then they're outside and she wants to hug the girl who's covered in blood. And
because there's an explosion. She gets
No. This is from her falling in solar panel guy's blood, and she's like, "I'm glad you're alive."
Oh,
like,
yeah,
do you need a hug? And she's like, "Ew." She's like, "Oh, too much blood on me."
Yeah.
Again, you guys are about to possibly die. It's not silly time. Tiny sweep him up. Throw a hammer time dance. I wrote wow. Okay. This is where we replace the
Why wouldn't you make an Ice-T joke? If you're going to make a joke about any hip-hop artist, why wouldn't it be an Ice-T joke? So it could actually be a throwback to one of the other movies.
Which is...
I don't know, the Lep in the Hood 1, Lep in the Hood 2.
Because Ice-T's actually in the goddamn movie.
Yeah, because he's in the fucking movie.
Someone should have drank a Snapple. Someone should have said, "Give me a Snapple, bitch."
Yeah.
That's very famous Ice-T.
That's it.
Man, whatever. So we replace... Oh, is that the pump thing in the water? Is that why was that your thing with the
Yeah, I was just saying, I was like, that's the structural strip reason for having the basement be full of water.
So we replace the suck on this asshole, whatever the end of the first movie is, with... And how do they do this?
Wait, this is gold is a conductor. That's what
this is
gold conducts electricity.
Shit. Stupidest. Physically, it doesn't even make any sense because she has two cords that came from like the same... she pulled from a fan, whatever. It's the old electricity thing. I'm going to jam you with two things of electricity and you're going to fry. Why couldn't she just stick him to his body? She had to touch the gold he's standing on.
Because it makes the electricity more powerful.
Yeah. And what does he do?
And it's ironic because he's being killed by his gold.
And he lights on fire, and the house lights on fire, and they're trying to run away from him, and he's chasing them on fire, and they jump out.
Kind of cool.
They go back in the basement. She's like, "No!" She's like, "No, we can get out through the basement."
Yeah.
He grabs her. They say something. She tries to convince him to let her. Oh, I forgot about that. When he's in the iron circle, the iron dome that he can't get out.
How could we not talk about that? I have questions.
Okay. He impersonates...
I have a question.
He says, I'll make a wish. Let me go and I'll give you a wish. Or I'll make a deal with you, whatever the case may be. I can bring your mom back.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking as her mom.
Okay. And then
that is not Jennifer Aniston's voice.
Okay. I thought it sounded a lot like it. I mean...
It can't be, right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good Jennifer Aniston
I thought it just sounded like female.
Oh, it sounded like Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
It definitely sounded like Jennifer Aniston. But I'm like, well, there's no fucking way. Even if you gave her like...
This is like making Critter 7.
If you gave her a $30,000 check just to say that one thing, and maybe from home, and like not even actually having to go to a recording studio, she still wouldn't do it, right?
This is if Critters 5 or 6.
They had Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leo, yeah. Can we have his audio? And he'd be like, "Fuck you."
So anyway, it's got to be an impersonator, right?
Just someone who's like, you sound like a female.
I just think it was, but okay.
I don't think it was that amazing. It just sounded like
no, and not even that amazing. But like they made the choice to do that. It could have to you. It just sounded like a woman.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, oh no, that is a very clear trying to sound like Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, but I think Jennifer Aniston just sounds like a woman. I don't think she's that unique.
You should see. Somebody does a really good impersonation of her. I can't remember who, but one of the SNL people. She is somebody that you can definitely.
But because they're doing her friend's character.
Yes.
Her Jennifer Aniston, the person, is very just like. You can't. It's obvious. This is an audio podcast, but I'm doing like the straight line with my hand. She's just very like right down the middle.
All right, that's enough about Jennifer Aniston. Did you have something else you want to say
like
about
my
that scene?
mom. So it's really weird to look at my mom. People think Jennifer Aniston's hot. I'm like, my mom looks like Jennifer Aniston. You guys are weird. Also, people wear mom jeans now. Fashion's terrible. I don't want to get started on mom jeans. High-waisted underwear and pants, terrible. You should be ashamed of yourself, everybody. Terrible fashion choices. This is not the 90s. The 90s, fuck off. Friends is popular again with kids. Did you know this?
No.
Friends is, yeah, like 14-year-olds watch Friends on Netflix. Well,
and they're like, where are all the brown people?
Well, yeah, they should be asking that, yeah. Eat a dick, ass baggins.
Ass baggins! That's right. I feel like every time somebody writes one of these final lines and you have the opportunity to do your Jaws, you know, smile, you son of a bitch thing, because that's what everybody's doing.
Yeah, is that really the first?
I don't know.
It's pretty. That's 1980.
Jaws?
Jaws
1970. No.
79.
Earlier than that, even. I think like 76.
This is your favorite fucking movie?
I don't know.
And you don't know what year Jaws is?
It's definitely earlier than 79.
Ah.
But no,
I
think
that, everybody. Ryan Jacket Bally, who loves to cosplay as Quint every Halloween. Let's just dress up as Quint, not really cosplay. Doesn't know what year Jaws came out.
I want to say 1975 or 76. 75 or 76. Maybe 77.
75.
Okay, 75.
So I was wrong, but I mean, it's not my favorite movie. I only watched the second half of the movie.
I was close. I was within a year.
Because the first half is not worth watching. Except that you keep the beaches closed during spring break, everybody.
Yeah.
You don't let people go to the goddamn beach during spring break.
See, Jaws is still topical.
When there's a public health emergency.
Yeah. And that's what Jaws is about. Ask me, somebody, what is Jaws about, like, thematically? And I go, I don't know. I said, but you can do this. You can play with this. You can say Jaws is about global warming. You have one person that's like, no, bullshit. It's like, you have one person that's like, this is going to kill you. You need to do this. And then the other person's like, no, come on. We got money. Money. And, you know, that's bad. But hey, it works for COVID.
Yeah.
COVID is the shark. That's the metaphor. Where are we? Oh, yeah.
I just want to say one thing real fast. If there is a sewage runoff and the beaches turn brown and red, which they do, what do?
Yeah.
They close the beach for a few days because it's not safe to be in the water. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Getting political on your podcast there, but
people are. I don't know what it is about beaches. I know it's starting to be summer here.
I'm just here to enjoy horror movies,
Shut up.
bud, and I don't want to listen to your politics.
It's just funny how beaches became like a thing, and it's like, dude, they close them all the time for things like this.
Yeah, but when you take them away from people, then it's like...
I understand. I don't think they should be closed.
I can't go to the fucking beach.
Here's the thing. I don't think beaches should be closed. I think you should just limit the parking lot to half full, whatever. Like, if people are far enough...
I mean, now you got to pay people to regulate that, and I mean, I guess you did it to be... Whatever,
yeah,
I'm not talking
You only
about
let in so many people. I'm just saying, you could totally be... Like, with the first week of this, when the quarantine, we went on a hike literally at Trump's golf course.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was there.
I've done that before.
Because there was nothing to do, and there was the tide pools, and it was empty. There was nobody there. Don't close it if people are going to go. Just don't let 40,000 people. Anyways, on to the movie. To the end of the movie.
Eat a dick.
Ass baggins.
Ass baggins. There are so many bad final lines.
What does she do when she says that?
She just like kicks him in the face, doesn't she?
Is this the electricity part?
No, they already did the electricity part. He's on fire because of the electricity.
Yeah, but the house explodes.
It just explodes, I think.
Like the entire thing just
I think that it's meant to see like his demonic power is exploding, and so it explodes.
I just remember when she says that. Oh, she doesn't when
she's crawling out of the house. I think it's crawling out of the window.
You're right. She kicks him in the face then.
And he's grabbing her, and she's like, "Oh, eat a dick, ass baggins." She kicks him in the face.
Yes.
That's it. That's the moment.
Why ass baggins? Is this a Zach Baggins joke?
I think. Well,
Ghost Adventures?
Baggins is like a Bilbo. It's like so it's a Hobbit joke,
right?
Ass baggins, because ass bag, like she's calling it ass bag, and she's connecting that up with baggins,
right?
And coming up with ass baggins. It's not good.
I've heard it before. I've heard ass baggins before, but I'm like, are they making fun of Zach Baggins, the Ghost Adventures guy?
No, they're making.
But here's the thing.
I literally explained it to you. That's what it is.
I understand. Eat a dick. When they say choke on this, smile, you son of a bitch. It all makes sense,
right?
She didn't shove a dildo in his mouth.
No.
Now,
if she had a giant
it's a
dildo on her
house, there would be a dildo
there'd be
in the
joke.
house.
They'd be constantly making jokes about how the giant big dildo is that the girl has, and they'll make fun of her that because they found it in the Goody Goodies room, and like she's the last person you expect to have something like that.
American Pie 2. They find the dildo in the house they think they're lesbians and they're not.
Yeah.
Why eat a dick if there's no goddamn dildo?
Yeah. So we wrote this movie, rewriting it.
And you just shove it in his mouth, you know?
Yeah, or even just smack him with it like a giant dildo. That would have been funny. You make a loud sound effect, eat a dick, ass, or just eat a dick maybe.
And that's what knocks his head off his shoulders. And she goes, that's how you give good head.
Right. Like calling back. Like,
yeah.
Now that's how you give good head.
Because they literally put a dick and hit him in the head.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And then she goes, also, I didn't give you head. I gave you book. You don't understand jokes.
Ghost of Ozzy waves goodbye.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute.
Yeah. He's like, what am I going to do now?
But then you find out that the token girl cannot see him.
No.
Only
so it is
she can see.
confirming that he is a ghost, apparently.
Yes.
But only a ghost that she can say because she's special because something.
And then who shows up?
The police.
It's not a police. It's a guy in a fucking...
It's a cop, and I think the guy...
Or
is a cop.
Campus security.
I think that guy was meant to... And I don't know this, but I bet you he was an actor from one of the movies.
I thought that would be a thing,
I think it was a callback that I just didn't get.
Me too. And then they're like, oh, we're fine. And then they make the joke of like, yeah, maybe I'm bleeding out. I should probably get in the car.
I have shrapnel sticking out of my chest.
Shrapnel? She has a piece of glass 2 feet long sticking out of her back.
But then she knows everything. She's like, no, I'm okay. It's sticking out of my whatever. So it just means that I'm going to be fine. Which again, if that had been her character the entire time, somebody who just like said really like $20 million words and nobody ever understood what she was saying, and she had to like always be like, I meant this.
Yeah.
But that doesn't start until like halfway through the
character
movie.
development.
Yeah.
End of the movie.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So, did the credits roll for a couple seconds before this happens, or are we...
No, this happens right because I remember then the credits rolling. I'm like, is there something at the end of the credits? I don't care. I'm not turning.
Fast forward. We see... Okay, so his hat survived. We see the hat somewhere after everything blew up.
His jaunty hat.
And the camera zooms in on it. You're like, oh, sequel, right? The next scene is Leprechaun, fully rebuilt, walking down not a dirt road, but like, you know, middle of nowhere.
A little like tired, like a little weary.
Upset, like, fuck, man.
Yeah, it's fucking college students, man.
Carrying a Bismarck or bust sign.
Yes.
So he's going back to the cash for gold place to get his gold.
Yes.
Okay, whatever. He's hitchhiking.
By the way, doesn't have, unless he's hiding it magically, doesn't have the pot of gold that he did have already.
No, it's always hidden magically.
Okay.
He could like pull it out.
Got it.
Or he put it in a tree somewhere.
Fair enough.
I mean, and two, his lair is in a tree trunk that's
right.
also, you know, huge.
Right.
Truck carrying a bunch of chicken cages, picks him up, and he proceeds to sit on the back of the chicken truck, and he's got feathers on him, and he looks very unpleasant and unhappy. And then it drives off with like, haha, the monster's gonna get pooped on by chicken, and he's just gotta take it, I guess. Wow.
See you in Bismarck. Fucking Bismarck. It comes up multiple times. It's not like a throwaway thing like, oh, I sold it to a pawn guy in Bismarck, and that was the last anybody ever says about it. We're literally hanging the end of the movie on, just again, imagine this movie took place somewhere else, and you're like, I pawned it to somebody in Vegas. And then the second movie, then you're like, oh, Vegas or bust. And you're like, oh man, it's gonna be fucking lit.
No, wrong.
Lep is gonna be lit when they go end up in Vegas.
Wrong. This is literally written to be a joke because no one would ever expect to be a sequel to this. Even if it was successful, if there was, they wouldn't follow that storyline. This was literally written because they thought it would be funny to see him on a chicken truck.
Yeah.
Nothing else. There was no like, oh, this is a lead in. The lead into the sequel was the end of the movie when they focused on the hat was still there.
Yeah.
This is just like, let's just have a Marvel.
Yeah.
At the end, if they put it after the credits, then it would have really been a fucking Marvel thing. But this movie is not good. But there are glimmers of hope. The script is terrible. The directing's okay. Actors do what they can with the characters they were given.
Yeah.
The way the director tells them to act. I have to blame the director, not the actor.
Replace every bad pop culture joke, like every bad one that we talked about, plus all the ones we didn't.
Yeah.
With bad callback jokes to the other movies.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because you're already going over people's heads that are under a certain age or don't really know, like, you know.
If you're going to do lots of scenes from different horror movies, why not do the ones from your own series?
Dude, I just could not believe that there weren't more, like, why aren't you guys making a joke where you're, like, about Willard, okay? Or not Willard, what's the fucking...
The guy with rats?
No. Is it Willow? What's the name of the movie with Warwick
Willow.
Davis where it's like a Lord of the Rings knockoff? Willow, okay. Why aren't you making Willow joke?
You know there's a Willow Nintendo game?
I'm not surprised.
Why of all movies did they pick that?
By the way, Jessica just like randomly brought up this Wizard of Oz video game that she tried to play when she was a kid and could never get past the first level. And I'm like, I remember that's something Angry Video Game Nerd talked about, so we watched that together.
That's funny.
Yeah, nothing. No like NASA joke or like just any kind of like
NASA.
Well, just any kind of thing that would point to like he's in space.
Sorry, yeah.
And nothing about like the hood, like fucking nothing. Like you have all these.
Wait. in the one in space, this is the one when the guy pees and he gets into the guy's dick.
Yes, that's true.
Does he blow him up that way?
I can't remember. Maybe
that would be the second time something was inside somebody that blew up.
Yes, and then it would make so that's a send up to that is what you're saying.
I'm saying they've used the same joke 3 times.
Just make it a completely filleting, like just cannibalistic, just constantly snake eating its own tail, dealing with its own bad batch of movies that it's gone through. Would be better than that.
You making a movie for the fans, basically.
But I will say, the gore was fun. It was low budget, but I liked it. Like so that for a horror movie, you're like, you got that right.
Yeah.
So good job on that. Again, liked the costume design, enjoyed the makeup.
Yeah.
Just a really bad script, I think, is really what it comes down to.
You go into the, like, we're in the woods and there's plenty of light kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just feels very, like, plain.
Yeah, because it's always been that way, because it's cheap. Like, again, it looks like they shot in, like, Temecula or
After
some shit.
watching The Vavitch, when they go in the woods feel dark and scary.
Well, that's because they went literally...
Well, that's different, yes.
By the way, that filmmaker, this is what his style is, other than, like, the way he makes movies. He builds shit. I don't know if you know this. So that whole, like, little village house thing they live in, they didn't find that.
Oh, I know. I figured it's a set.
They built that from scratch. He said, and we're going to use the same wood that they used and the same rocks that they used and all that stuff.
Make authentic.
And then ditto with Lighthouse, which is another reason to at least look at the pictures. He went to Nova Scotia and said, we're going to build a lighthouse and we're going to build a fucking house that's attached to it and everything. It was like, kind of crazy. Yeah,
it's not funny how when we watch a bad movie, we end up talking about good movies.
Yeah. I don't really know if I have anything else to say about Leprechaun
Returns.
Returns.
There's nothing to say. It is what it is. It's the 8th movie in the series.
Including the WWF one that they did, right?
Oh, you always say WWE?
WWE.
Okay, when you say that, it's just because they, like, produced it.
Right. But you're not including that as one of them?
No. I don't think of it as a WWE production because it doesn't have, like, John Cena in it.
It doesn't, but it's that same thing. It was that era where they tried to make a badass, cool horror movie out of something.
Yeah, but I'm saying usually their movies take one of their stars and try to make them an act. Like,
but that was just called Leprechaun, right? That's
Origins.
Origins, got it.
It's the first Origin.
I didn't watch that one.
It obviously was not a Leprechaun movie.
Yeah.
It was another movie they shot.
A creature feature that they decided was going to be a Leprechaun movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that including that one, that makes 8.
Yes, absolutely. Right? That was number 7.
2 Hood movies, 1 space movie, 1 Vegas movie, 1 just sequel.
Yes, 1 original.
And then that one.
Yeah.
That makes 7.
Yeah.
Plus this one makes 8.
Yeah. Okay. You always forget there's a second Hood movie.
Yeah, there's 2.
Because the first one's the one that's Lep in the Hood with the rap song.
Yeah.
The second one is, like, way more serious and way more, like, shot on film grain. Yeah. Whereas the 5th one felt really clean and not bad. That's the one. The 5th one's one that has Ice-T in it.
Yeah.
That's the one with the 3 guys who are rapping and it's all out of sync. Yeah. The 6th one's just like a full on, like, I'm gonna beat that motherfucker up. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he starts beating up the leprechaun and he keeps coming back. Like,
very vaguely. I blocked a lot of it out of my memory.
Yeah. They're riding motorcycles, I think, at some point.
There are good in the Hood movies, by the way. Like, and it sucks that
Tales from the Crypt?
Tales from the Crypt.
Isn't there like a demon night? No. Isn't there a Tales from the Hood?
You check into Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood is fucking excellent. And because of movies like Leprechaun in the Hood, people think that any kind of urban style horror movie is bad. I'll tell you this. Tales from the Hood, fucking excellent.
Have you seen Crips vs. Bloods?
No. But I've seen...
Oh, sorry. That's a Red Letter Media one. It's a very, very, very bad, like, Hood movie.
I saw last year Bones. Snoop Dogg was in a horror movie called Bones. I remember...
I thought he was in Tales from the Hood. I thought that's the Snoop Dogg one.
No. He's in Bones. And I remember seeing Bones in Blockbusters. I remember thinking at whatever age I was, oh, that's another one of these dumb horror in the hood movies. The only reason I think things like that are because of movies like Leprechaun in the Hood. I watched Bones last year. I really liked it. It's the same filmmaker that made Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight.
That's probably why I say that.
And I love Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight.
That's that Billy Zane, right?
It's Billy Zane.
Okay.
And it's good. I'm just saying, like, it's a shame that there are actually some really good Candyman. I guess the Candyman's probably the only one that actually gets any. I don't get no respect. Rodney Dangerfield. Like, Candyman gets some respect. All the other ones don't get any.
Peele's producing or directing the new Candy, or what did he producing the new?
It was supposed to have been out already by now.
But I'm saying, like, you talk about respect. Like, you just gave it to somebody who's like making great horror movies.
Yes, no. That's what I'm saying. Candyman is like a respectable urban horror movie.
To be fair to Leprechaun, they said their biggest market at the time, because they were direct to video, was the urban. So they decided to make one for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Which feels pandery-ish in a bad way.
Yeah.
As I told my wife, if you're gonna make a movie about being in an urban environment, which literally they say that they just mean black, because it's funny because it's like someone who we live in LA County, our urban environment's mainly Hispanic, but
It depends on where you go.
Right.
South Central Los Angeles is...
I don't like the fact that urban has always meant black when it's like, no, dude, like I technically live in an urban environment.
Right.
I don't live in the suburbs.
Right.
I don't live in the city either, but like we're everything. Like, everyone's a different nationality.
Right.
Who gives a shit, right? You don't let, and I don't even know actually, but like you don't let the white person write the script and direct the movie for the hood movie, because
don't do that.
Then you have a leprechaun rapping.
Yes.
Which if you let a black person do that, they would have get that shit out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, Ice-T's all about it. Like,
I just want to say, don't watch the Leprechaun movies. I know you don't feel that way.
watch the first one.
I think the first one it's a fun anachronism. I actually enjoyed the second one. I remember enjoying the second one. Things in it.
I think the Vegas one's funner than that.
Actually, now I think back on the Vegas one, I think I would enjoy it more.
That's where the big boob lady comes out of the TV.
I just think you think it might be fun to watch the Leprechaun in the Hood movies. It's not.
They're not. Nope.
They're
not at all.
They're just bad. And the space movies, in my opinion, also just... If you're gonna watch a bad horror space movie, watch Jason X. That's what I'm saying.
The space one is the cheapest of all the one. Like, it has the most special effects, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
But it's the cheapest sets, the cheapest makeup, the cheapest, like, everything about the fourth one. The fifth and sixth ones look better than the fourth one does.
Yeah.
So...
watch Jason X.
Jason X is interesting.
Because Jason X has at least got the scene where they go, oh, we just love premarital sex. And that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. So that concludes the Leprechaun series forever, most likely.
Most likely.
I mean, maybe
Somebody will
six.
dust it off again.
It's ripe for it, and I think this was supposed to be that.
Hellraiser's finally... 90s things are...
No, but the idea that, like, let's make a sequel that ignores a lot of it. Like,
that's
this,
the hot thing to do now, right?
But this was the chance, and it failed, I'm assuming.
Right.
So I don't think we're going to get another reboot of Leprechaun anytime soon.
I mean, I don't know what failed it means. It wasn't a theatrical release. It was it was straight to video, and it was
supposed to be on Netflix and Blu-ray the same day. And then it didn't come to Netflix.
Yeah.
Or it was supposed to be streaming for free, and it didn't. So I think a lot of people that might have seen it did not buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Did not rent it from Amazon or whatever. So I remember one of them was like, it's coming out, and it's going to be available to buy and watch the same day on a streaming service, not like you have to rent $15. But that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So at that point, you lost all goodwill you had to get anyone to see your movie.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, everybody.
All right.
We went an hour longer than I expected.
Yeah.
So
we folded up with... Felt like we were talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Like it didn't seem like
we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll be back.
Never.
No, I think we can do this kind of stuff. This isn't too bad. What do you want?
I don't know, but I want to do one, but I know you don't have time.
I mean, I can. It's just I have to dedicate myself to it. But to patrons and everyone who's still with us, awesome. Thanks. Glad to this far to it. I think we will make our Patreons and put them up to a vote. To what we do next. We'll have a couple ideas of what we can do with what we have at our disposal.
Don't ask for a fucking BPRD.
It's not,
video.
Well, also, who's 2 hours in? No one's listening to this.
Yeah, I know.
Or they're not interested in BPRD. They're interested in Leprechaun.
Yeah.
We should have at the beginning, like, hey, by the way, we're back, but here's what we're doing,
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. Me too. So, we're going to cut it off there, and good night.
Bye, everybody.
I'm glad we were able to do something, and we will try to do some of these things.
Support your local comic shop.
Yeah. And we love you.
Kyle loves you.
I love you.
I tolerate you.
Also, if you're on social media, you're generally talking to me, not him.
That's true.
So that's why it's all grumpy, man.
And you've been better. I don't know if that's intentional, but
I don't know.
I feel like when I changed my handle to not grumpy AlphaRookie and started saying something about it, you may have no.
Nope.
Okay.
It's just however I feel that day. I feel I want to talk to the world.
Yeah.
AlphaRookie Twitter is getting it today. I'm fucking pissed off about this, you know? Anyways, alrighty. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Love you.